managed to contact different people. How do we also suffer? Our tourists comes from those places. Our economy is very dependent.
At palagi po natin i-observe ang one meter social distancing, lalo na po dito sa loob ng palengke. Maraming salamat po.
Marami silang mga pinag na pagbabago sa health and safety protocols. So, for example, maayos sa mga pilot, meron designated place campus, saan po pwedeng dumaan, at kung at kapalit nyo, kailangan hindi sila nagkakapalitan na hindi nagsisipan, kailangan nagsusunod yung mga minimum health standards o yung pagkakaroon ng physical and social distancing. At kung hindi nyo, no, yung mga medicals dito sa Baguio, ang COVID-19 ay wala. Ang social mask, ang social picture, at kung sumusunod sila sa mga health and safety protocols. Ito lamang October 22. Formal nang binuksan ang Baguio City para sa mga turista mula sa iba't ibang panig ng resort. The most important really is before we reopen is to make sure that our healthcare facility and our healthcare capacity is in place. Kasi now, no, more than enough isolation centers, and then we have also critical care centers, and we have trial centers. And because of that foresight, and at the same time, the capacity, we have also critical care centers, and we have trial centers. And because of that foresight, and at the same time, the capacity, and because of that foresight, and the capacity,
Ano, ang daga.
capacity of healthcare, we are confident the worst case scenario, no, of having cases from tourists, we will be able to also achieve that in terms of healthcare. We appeal to our visitors that they comply with our requirements. You will experience by the city this time that we provide a safe haven for everyone and start experiencing all over again the full kindness that has been always the
Hindi
charm
ba
of
nga
Baguio
limang
City.
copyright bike?
So pagdating ng pandemic, halos stress out lahat ng mga kasama namin. Kasi hindi ito rin yung usually na pinagkakakitaan. So gumawa kami ng alternative na pagkakakitaan.
Gubat,
Ginawa
yabang
ko yung composting na hosman. So
Sa
kahit pa
pa,
paano, meron
if
kaming ginagawa.
di nalubatin on,
Kahit hindi naman
if
kami
you don't want
nakapagsalita, meron kami
notification this channel goes live, you can unsubscribe here.
okay na po ang Baguio. At sana
Isa
i-try
nga.
mo lahat ng
Dali
pasyalan,
ka tayo,
lalo dito sa Red Park,
i-unsubscribe
para
natin.
magkaroon kayo ng
Okay.
kakaibang experience.
Dito.
Hirap na din po kasi yung iba natin
Na, diha, magawas?
So, kailangan
Sa
na lang
email.
po talaga natin ng lakas ng loob. Kasi po kapag makita nila na panghihinaan ka ng loob, damay-damay na po kasi talaga yun.
Na
So,
din, mukit
iniisip
ano,
ko na lang po na matatapos din naman po ito.
na zero, gyapong views ba?
Magpakatatag lang po talaga.
Sa may isa ko cellphone.
Halos na alis na sir yung family. Takot namin sa COVID. Ang kinakatakutan ko na lang ngayon, baka magutom ang pamilya ko kung walang turista na po. Yun ang number one sa akin. Kasi kung wala kang benta, wala naman kami kakain. Na sana ma-open na ng ma-open sana. So, dumami na ang turista dito sa Baguio.
I'm all inviting you to visit Baguio now dahil sa magandang response ng aming contact tracing, ng aming social distancing, ng aming mga, all about COVID is safe here now. So, I'm inviting you all to visit Baguio again, the summer capital of the Philippines, as it opens to tourism. Go to Baguio!
Mga turista, mga bisita, kaya na kayo dito sa Baguio, welcome na welcome kayo dito. Huwag na kayong matakot. Enjoy, welcome mga turista. Welcome to Baguio! Actually po ma'am, nung lockdown is nahirapan po kami doon sa aming mga customers po. Kung yung karami po dati, biglang kukonti na lang po yung dumarating. Ang iniimbitahan namin, ang lahat po ng turista kahit galing saan mang lugar ng Pilipinas, safe po kayo dito sa Baguio. And safe din naman po kayo dito sa Mountain Lake Training and Development Foundation Incorporated.
Ha?
Welcome to Baguio po. Welcome to Baguio! Welcome to Baguio!
Unti-unti nang bumabango ng Baguio City. Ang mga residente sumusunod sa new normal na ipinatutupad ng lungsod.
Sa ating pong mga kababayan dito sa siyudad ng Baguio, at sa ating pong mga bisita. Alam ko po, everybody is excited to go up to the city of Baguio. At the same time, I also know that many of our residents are still that fear, are still, uncertain about what's going to happen. I can assure you that your local government really is not top of the situation. But with that, frustration,
Isa ra, git lang ang
you must
medyo.
have adequate isolation. Never for safety and health of our residents and at the same time our please trust me.
Marami ang pinagapa ng pandemya. Pero ang bayanihan ng lahat at ang epektibong aksyon, tunay na susi para sa hangarin ng bawat isa na agaran.
Pwede ko, para nisip ko ni Soya.
Surprise na regalo dahil sa mga gusto ng lugar. Nagpalagay ako ng mga decoration.
Ito na uma naman. Yung view, bukan ito na yung gabi.
So hanggang umabot na kami sa 1,105,187. Na-test namin ang susunod na pangalaw sa amin at 359,331. Kami ang pinakamataas. 50% practically almost one-third of the test ng buong Pilipinas.
Mabilis ang ating pag-respond sa mga nangangailangan. Kasi we don't want these people to be stressed out psychologically or emotionally. Kung positive ba or negative yung sample. Makikita din po namin dito or naka-plot din po dito kung ilan yung mga natulungan po namin regarding din sa, for example, for transport or additional other assistance regarding sa COVID po.
Pangakong napapako. Ito ang mabigat na sentimiento ng MILF sa pamahalaan.
Meron talagang satisfaction.
Dahilan upang maraming Moro combatants ang nagkakapiling tuluyang isuko ang kanilang mga armas.
Sabi nila, hindi natin magawa. Yung bakit tayo mag-ipumili naman ng other one?
Iip ng MILF ngayon, palawigin hanggang 2025 pa ang kasalukuyang Bangsamoro Transition Authority. Tulayan sa isang exclusive interview kay Bangsamoro Chief Minister Ibrahim Murad ng isa sa mga nangungunang broadcast journalist ng bansa na si Cesar Soriano.
Kaya itong video ibutang ba?
Pilipinas, ngayong Sabado, dito lang sa PTV4.
Copyright mo dyan.
As my sworn duty, at itong mga tao na ito, mga kilala ko yung iba,
Kunya masanda ni mo dyan.
understand that I have a duty to perform, and that is to inform the public, lalo na itong PhilHealth. Ngayon, as of August 19, 2020, itong mga tao na ito, suspended na and wala na sa PhilHealth.
Kaya okay lang. Paano mo gaanay may trabaho ikaw?
Lazo mo nga. Lazo mo eh.
Hindi ka biya to. Ito gamay na because
Papaw. Papaw ng kandiwa. Salida.
all move on.
Developing stories in the country and around the world. Facts, insightful analysis, and context on information for a better perspective. The latest news and issues that are relevant to today's time. Get a rundown of it all download now. On the yard. PTV News Tonight.
Muslim sila. Muslim. Dumato ka oras kagabi no? Oo, ng 20 mabunod sa 1,000.
Ito tayo mag-play din. Ito man na ba eh? Live na. na lang ako sa ubos ba? Pila man ako ang mapalit ko ka ng 1/2 nga 5 easy size. O, buo lagi na, steak, putol-putol siya. Oo, ako rin na kay at pakapinan na ka. Para bukang ganyan ka ng allowance.
Yan ang bintang ito.
Paborito na ko. Ma? Katay. No, nang may sakyanan.
Susunod na programa.
Susunod na programa naman.
Ito ay nangangailangan ng patnubay at gabay ng magulang para sa mga batang manonood.
Hi, schoolmates! Dahil ang pagkatuto ay di natatapos sa loob ng paaralan, samahan niyo kami sa isa na namang mainit na talakayan.
Ating pag-usapan ang mga hashtag trending issues na bibigyan natin ng kalinawan.
Kaya naman sit back, relax at enjoy this alternative classroom learning experience with your coolest barkada dito lang sa Schoolmates!
Sigaw ang tinig mo, sa buong mundo ang karamandan. Sana ang isip mo, sana lang ang iyang boses harapan.
Paalala muli sa ating mga kababayan, lagi po tayong mag-ingat at maging aware sa panahon ng pandemya. Sinusulungan ng Department of Health ang Vida Solusyon COVID-19 upang himukin ang mga mamamayan to practice preventive measures to fight the COVID-19 pandemic.
Maging bida sa paglaban sa COVID-19. Saan man tayo pumunta, lagi nating alalahanin na ay isanitize ang mga kamay. Dumestansya ng 1 metro at alamin ang totoong impormasyon.
Galing po natin na ang mga paalalang ito at responsibilidad natin bilang mamamayan ng bansang ito na maging alerto at maagap sa ating sitwasyon ngayon. Umpisahan natin sa ating mga sarili ang pag-iingat para sa mga mahal natin sa buhay at para na rin sa ikuunlad ng bansa. Schoolmates, ating pag-iiskisa ng mamaya ang ating hashtag trending topic na civil union sa same-sex couples. Dapat o hindi dapat? Akin namang makakausap ang isang miyembro mula sa UP Babaylan mamaya tungkol sa kanilang organisasyon at upang kumustahin ang sitwasyon ng kanilang mga LGBTQ students.
Inyong tunghayan sa aking share ko lang ang pagsusumikap ng isang estudyante mula sa Sarangani Province na ibinahagi ng kanyang guro. Schoolmates, maaari rin kayong maging bahagi ng aming diskusyon by commenting your opinions on our social media accounts at babasahin namin yan maya-maya lamang. Lahat ng yan ay ating pag-usapan, kaya naman guys, tutok lang kayo at magbabalik ang Schoolmates!
May kinalaman po rin kay Rolly, mayroong calamity law ng pag-ibig para sa mga miyembro nito. No? Lahat ng mga eligible members ay maaaring humiram na hanggang 80% ng kanilang total pag-ibig regular savings.
Sa gitna ng krisis na ating kinakaharap, dalawang bagay ang naiaalay sa bayan ng ating programa: katotohanan at malasakit.
Komprehensibo at matapang natin tatalakayin ang bawat sulok ng ito. Dahil ganitong klaseng balitaan ang karapatang malaman ng mga mamamayan.
Hindi lang tayo basta nagbabalita.
Ginagampanan din natin ang ating responsibilidad sa ating kapwa.
Balitaang may puso. Yan ang atin ng Sentro Balita. Lunes hanggang Biyernes sa PTV. Para sa mga nais magpa-swab test sa Philippine Red Cross, narito ang mga hakbang para kayo ay makapag-book ng inyong RT-PCR test online para makapag-schedule. Puntahan lamang ang book.redcross1158.com. at i-click ang Book as well. Piliin ang araw at oras ng inyong RT-PCR test at i-click ang Book Now upang maidagdag ang appointment sa inyong card. Muling silipin ang mga items sa inyong card. I-click ang checkout at i-review ng mabuti ang mga inilagay na detalye. Mamili ng payment method at ilagay ang inyong payment information upang makumpleto ang bayad. Tingnan ang email para sa order confirmation. Buksan ang ECIF form sa email at i-fill out bago ang appointment. Tandaan, siguraduhin nasa venue 15 minutes bago ang inyong schedule. Ihanda rin ang proof of payment. Ang resulta ay padadala sa inyong email. Maaari rin itong i-check sa c19.redcross.org.ph/track. Sama-sama nating subuin ang pagkalat ng COVID-19 sa bansa. Isang paalala mula sa Philippine Red Cross at PTV.
Magandang gabi, Pilipinas. Saksihan ang mga mapaguluhang paglalakbay ng veteranong broadcaster na si Cesar Soriano upang magdagdag ng mga sakibong impormasyon mula sa iba't ibang panig ng bansa. Samahan siya sa pagtalakay sa mga kaganapang dapat ibahagi sa bawat Pilipino. Magandang gabi, Pilipinas. Subaybayan tuwing Sabado alas 5 hanggang alas 6 ng gabi. Dito lang sa PTV. Magandang gabi, Pilipinas.
Sa matinding laban natin sa Coronavirus Disease 2019, supuin din natin ang pagkalat ng fake news. Huwag magpahagi ng impormasyon na hindi tiyak ang pinagmulan. I-check mabuti ang source ng balita. Kumuha lamang ng impormasyon mula sa mga official channel ng Department of Health. Huwag magpadala sa maling balita, basta't sama-sama at laging handa. Kaya natin to.
Welcome to Hashtag Trending. Ipinahayag nga ni Pope Francis ang kanyang suporta sa civil union para sa mga same-sex couples sa isang dokumentaryo na ipinalabas dito lamang nakaraang linggo. Ayon sa kanya, may karapatang magkaroon ng sariling pamilya ang mga homosexual people sapagkat sila'y anak din ng Diyos. Kinakailangan din daw ng civil union law for the same-sex couples to be legally covered. May mga natuwa sa pahayag na ito ng Santo Papa dahil ipinapakita nito ang kanyang pagkilala sa LGBTQ community. Sa kabilang banda naman, mayroon pa rin tumutol sa sinabi ng Papa dahil ito daw ay taliwas sa turo ng simbahang Katoliko at sa paniniwala na rin ng huling Santo Papa na si Pope Benedict. Depensa naman ng Catholic Bishops' Conference of the Philippines o CBCP, ang pahayag na ito ni Pope Francis ay nagpapakita lamang ng kanyang pagkahabag sa mga miyembro ng LGBT community at walang intensyong sirain ng Santo Papa ang moral at paniniwala ng mga Katoliko. Kaya naman ang ating hashtag trending topic ngayong gabi, civil union para sa same-sex couples. Dapat o hindi dapat? At para mas maintindihan natin ang ating diskusyon, narito si Daryl Medios at Marcus Cabin. Punta na tayo sa ating unang tanong. Daryl, Marcus, sang-ayon ba kayo sa civil union between same-sex couples? Simulan natin kay Daryl.
You know what, Gab? I definitely agree that this civil union and same-sex couples, of course, will be legalized here in the Philippines. But of course, I want to contextualize it and give us a little bit of background, rather than on what you have said, right? This problem actually started by our roots of Christianity, right? So these roots of Christianity led us to this idea of conservatism, wherein this conservatism led to different problems such as discrimination, perception of these people that this group of people are not or should not exist, and because of course the idea of conservatism is not, it's against the law, the teachings of the church, and especially the teachings of their morals, right? It doesn't pay problem, of course, on our issues about our families, right? So this conservative family, if they have, for instance, a son or a daughter that is part of this community or this LGBTQ A++ community, right? So these families tend to criticize them, right? It's even though it's their own members. Now, I would like to further emphasize that as Filipinos, we value families, right? We value families so much that we will do everything just for our family. But what is happening on the macro lens or in the Philippine context, right? We're only giving this opportunity to have this own kind family to certain group of people. And this family code is limiting these people of same sex to grow their own. How are we going to develop as a country in general if we're only limiting this family on certain group of people that is mentioned on our family code, which is heterosexual, especially man and women? But first, I would like to emphasize that civil union is grounded on the freedom to associate ourselves. And that is engraved in our constitution. So what does that mean, right? We have it is a gift of democracy wherein we have the freedom to choose whom we want to associate ourselves. And that's basically um, why there's a need that this civil union be passed, especially on our country.
The 1987 Constitution, Article 15, the family, Section 2 provides that marriage as an inviolable social institution is the foundation of the family and shall be protected by the state. Marriage is defined in the family code as a permanent union between man and a woman. The state should protect, therefore, marriage. The state should protect marriage as being strictly between a man and a woman to legalize same-sex partnerships, although not called marriages, vitiates the institution of marriage which the Constitution provides should be inviolable. Marriage is a natural institution, sacred not by dictates of faith or religion, but because it is a permanent occasion, resolutely accepted and committed by two rational consenting heterosexual adults acting in full freedom. It is more than just a contract. It is a new civil status, a new civil state of being that works with the spirit of the powerful, and is open to life, and thus has permanent and lasting obligations. Civil union is not about the common good. It is simply about the desire of a minority group for recognition, benefits, and protection at the expense of a valid institution. It changes the very definition of marriage by disassociating it from its purpose and its primary unitive and indivisible. Looking to the status quo, where does the Philippines exactly stand on this issue? Contemporarily, the Philippines does not recognize same-sex marriage nor civil unions. Let's be clear na hindi kinikilala ng batas but not criminalizing same-sex relationships because that would be against the Constitution. At this point of time, it is allowed, it exists, but not legally recognized. Actually, there is at least two pending in Congress, one of which is House Bill 2264, an act recognizing the civil partnership of couples, providing their rights and obligations. However, the bill has been long pending with the Committee on Women and Gender Equality since July. Even with the inviolable separation of church and state, as stated in Article 26, Section 6 of the Philippine Constitution, hindi natin mapapanggil ang evident influence of the church to the people affecting their personal views and political stand. Hindi natin ipinagbabawal ang anumang same-sex relationships in the eyes of the law. And we are not ruling out the chance that there can be proposed bills relative to this.
Okay, Daryl Marcos, maganda na naihain na iset na natin ng maayos yung mga posisyon natin. Pero Marcos, you mentioned that our country is predominantly Catholic, right? And we are proud to be the only Christian country in Asia. So, tatanungin kita Marcos, panahon na ba para kilalanin ng simbahan ang mga problemang kinakaharap ng LGBTQ community? Panahon na ba para sila ay mag-compromise?
The church cannot be more open as it is right now because it is strictly abide or adhere to the Bible. Hindi natin mapipilit ang simbahan to change their view on what is immoral as provided by the scripture and natural law. Because the nature of the church is orthodox, therefore rigid. What is notable here is that the church does not condemn the people, but only discourage the acts. The church is actually very welcoming to the extent that the leader of the church, Pope Francis, cares for them, and recently he expressed his support for the protection of their civil life. So the better question is, handa na ba ang mamamayang Pilipino para maging bukas sa ganitong usapan? The status quo will answer that. Kailangan natin maintindihan na civil union legalization, not only civil union, but also same-sex marriage, divorce, RH bill, abortion, and even death penalty won't prosper unless it will be accepted by the general mass. Because legislation is a matter of three things. One, the need of legislation. Two, mass acceptance. And three, political will. And civil union lacks two of these three, mass acceptance and political will. Well, the need for legislation is there, but it's not quite strong because it is not deemed as urgently necessary.
Alright, so, yan. Sabi ni Marcos, ang tanong daw ay hindi dapat naka-address sa simbahan kung dapat na ba nilang kilalanin mga problemang kinakaharap ng LGBT. Ang tanong daw dapat ay anggulo sa sambayan ng Pilipino kung handa na ba tayo para sa civil union ng same-sex couples. Sang-ayon ka ba dito, Dari?
What is notable on what he said is that mas marami daw yung population ng mga hindi nag-a-approve sa civil union, right? That's why what I'm proposing is the state should take the initiative to pass this law because first of all, they are the minority. So what do we mean by minority, right? So they are minority. Basically, hindi talaga nila kayang i-overpower yung majority. That's why they are calling for their rights as well. Kasi first of all, we agree, and it is a concession for both of the houses, that we as Filipinos deserve equality, right? So basically, the argument that mas marami sila na hindi nag-a-approve dyan, ayaw nila yan, does not apply, right? So the state should take the initiative to represent the people in no matter what particular group they are part of. Why does this not go against the teachings of the church? Ladies and gentlemen, what the church prohibits is the marriage of same-sex couples. Because as what my partner has said, that's in the Orthodox. That's on the teachings of the Bible. So what we are trying to propose is to be catering to these particular people is only a civil union. They exercise their right as a children of God. So no matter who or what they chose their life to be, the church should always be open on this particular type of people. Because based on what our CDP has said, si God nga, or si Jesus Christ, no matter what you commit, He will still accept you. Alright? And who is the church to not accept that fact?
Right.
So that's all.
Samantala, schoolmates, bago ko bitawan ang ating ikatlong tanong sa ating talakayan, ating munang tingnan ang mga komento ng ating mga netizens na ihatid sa atin ni Pressure.
Salamat Gabby, lamang ang mga debaters natin ang pwede makialam sa issue natin ngayong gabi. Siyempre, kayong mga schoolmates natin na nanonood sa kanilang mga tahanan ay pwedeng makisali sa ating diskusyon. Kaya naman, aking babasahin ang mga opinion pinadala ninyo ng ating mga netizens. Uunahin ko na si Che Lawag. Sabi ni Che, as an individual and part of the LGBT community, I believe it is time to provide such law for us. Since there is marriage for man and women, I think it is this time that we are fighting for equality and humility. We deserve to be heard, and civil union doesn't really hurt anybody, especially when two people are loving each other. Sabi naman ni Josh Pureg, para sa akin, wala namang problema ang same-sex couples here in the Philippines. The problem is that judgmental people who judge them easily without knowing their story. We are all human beings and we all should be treated equally. Hashtag IKM Civil Union. Sabi naman ni Bullet, Timbreza Olaivar Jr., in connection with that, I see no problem of legalizing the civil union between the two same sexes as long as they are maturely able to take responsibility with their actions towards their community. We need to focus on the advantage of passing the law for the sake of diversity, equality, and freedom. I totally agree. To live normal, happy, and contented life. So, ayun guys, keep those comments coming kasi maraming salamat ulit sa ating mga netizens na patuloy lamang kayong magpadala ng inyong mga komento at opinion dahil maaari pa rin po kayong bumoto sa ating mga social media accounts kung saan kayo papaling sa ating topic for tonight.
Kamu kayo sa inyong GCD. Kasi kita na ninyo. Saan? Netflix?
Oo, siyempre.
Harapin natin ang umaga na puno ng saya.
Abi pa lang, pobre.
Ay impormasyong siguradong patok sa masa. At mga mahalagang balitang mainit-init pa para sa inyo. Kasama ang bagong barkada.
Oh, pero natin bastos gamay ka nang
Rise and
mag-kuhan.
shine.
Mas magkano siya.
Lunes hanggang Biyernes.
Pero kariyo,
alas 7 ng
ragod po.
umaga. Dito lang sa PTV. Sa nalalapit na paggunita sa undas, narito ang mga guidelines
Oh,
sa
gali.
pagbisita sa ating mga mahal na yumao.
Wala mo ka, oh.
Lahat ng simenteryo, Memorial Park at Columbarium ay sarado mula October 29 hanggang November 4. Mula November 5 hanggang 15,
Sus, giring mo, diet na ba giring?
ang venue capacity ang pinahihintulutan. Wala ring age restrictions ang ipatutupad sa mga araw na ito. Basta tandaan na kailangan
Direk.
pagsundin ang minimum public health standards sa mga simenteryo. Sama-sama nating gawing makabuluhan ang pagdiriwang ng undas.
Asa?
ng
Direk,
pagkalahati
abiya.
ng bayo
Ah,
at
Deo.
pag-iwas.
Asa mo yung lumisa, Deo?
Narito
Balhin, Deo?
ang mga pinakamabisang paraan para makaiwas sa COVID-19.
Yung balhin.
Hugas ng kamay at paggamit ng disinfectant. Observe proper
Tumabua?
respiratory etiquette. Takpan ang bibig at ilong kung papahinga o ubo. At itapon ang ginamit na tissue. Magsuot
Alanan.
ng face mask tuwing lalabas ng bahay. Iwasang hawakan ng mukha, pati na ang mga bagay na madalas hawakan ng tao.
Ah, di mo na ako
Mainam
ako
din na
nakikita
magsuot
ko.
ng face shield, lalo na sa mga lugar na hindi maganda ang ikot ng hangin. Physical distancing.
Ah.
Maglaan ng
Deo,
isang
nanay,
metro
dubulak.
distansya sa
Deo,
pagitan
nanay,
ng
dubulak
sarili
ng
at
balay.
iba. Panatilihin sa bahay ang mga matatanda, bata, buntis at may sakit.
Ah.
Limitahan din ang kontak sa kanila kung
Maganda.
bakit lumalabas ng bahay. I-disinfect ang mga bagay na madalas gamitin at hawakan. Hanggat maaari, manatili sa bahay. Mag-iwapo at lumabas lamang kung bibili ng mga pangangailangan. Kung may nakararanas ng simptomas ng COVID-19, agad silang ipuput o dalhin sa quarantine facility. Let's beat COVID-19.
Dito, importante sa gawas, girl.
Laging handa. Kaya natin to.
Pare tayo magyabi kay mas sila rumentang pagkuha na bu. Hindi ha, ugay ginoo mo.
Sa salang sa balitakan upang bigyan linaw ang issue. One-on-one. Sama. Sa PTV. Issue. One-on-one.
Ang kurente ninyo ba?
Tungkol sa ating hashtag
Isa na, isa na si Papa na?
O hindi dapat. Debaters, Marcos, Daryl, ito lang ating ikatlong tanong.
Ah, di hamon sa sao.
Usapan natin ang pros and cons.
Nagkuha na siya patong sa lamisa para di siya magyuko kayo.
How will this be beneficial or disadvantageous to same-sex couples or to the LGBTQ community kung sakaling maipasa ito? Simulan natin kay Daryl.
Alright, so I would like to
Kay ma, yukog siya ho. Kato ding lamisa din sa niya.
have a society that is more inclusive. So what is happening on this
Okay man to deo, nam ko nga to.
So these same-sex couples, they will criticize them for who they are or what they are, right?
Table ra.
Because the
O
perspective
study.
of our society is that these people should feel sorry about themselves that they are wrong in the society. And
Table ra sa mukbang, wala
well,
study.
that is not. Because first of all, we are entitled, we're entitled to choose what we choose our life. And that is also a blessing.
Ah, dito rin.
So basically, if we
Well
were to
lang.
have this mindset that these people are already part of our society, then we'll be able to avoid.
Sa nasa ice cream?
Not just right now, but
Kasi po ni Papa Deo.
But I would like to emphasize this. The
Mr. Scott na Deo.
So basically, if we have this civil union or the state recognized civil union, the right to adopt and establish a family couple will flourish. So basically, they will form a family. That's also a function, as well as said in my instruction.
Iba lang,
That's a function to the development of society. We're not only limiting it to heterosexual couples, but also to the homosexual couples to take part also in the development of our community.
Oh, kung sa niyo suga itong kwarto.
The legal benefits or the labor benefits,
Save ba, save.
and paternity leave, that is only granted to those married couples. Also the tax laws, the privileges and protection of tax laws.
Mga ganyan, kuhan, dito sa kusina, paungan, bakit para
Also the right of
minus sa
the right for equal visitation, right to
Naguot
freedom,
naman,
and other
naguot
things like
naman
that.
tao ng balay
So
diha
basically,
eh.
we'll be able to give them the rights that they deserve once they belong to the civil union.
Na pa sila computer set oh, uy printer pa.
beneficyong hatid ng civil union. So, all the civil union
Ring sana all lay utang.
or might be detrimental to our community. How is this concept, itong civil union for same-sex couples, disadvantageous for our community?
First of all, let's us imagine a Philippines with civil union. Let us look for the root. Why are we having
Sige na, Dem. Naman ako niya, Dem.
same-sex arrangements to be recognized by the law? That is because of the existence of marriage inequality, right? And
Bye,
this is safe to that
Dale.
person. And I firmly believe that the same
Bye,
does
bye,
not
Dale.
the same that same-sex marriage and same-sex civil union will not solve the problem. Rather, it will worsen the same for legalizing same-sex civil union. It's like giving a half loaf of bread. It is a half-baked right. Civil union may be a substitute for marriage, but it is no substitute for marriage equality. Hypothetically, if in our same-sex civil union is legalized, I will reiterate what I said that it will not solve marriage inequality, for it does not provide the same legal rights and social acceptance as equality in marriage. Let's use countries which offer to include same-sex couples is the only road to true equality for same-sex couples. Meaning, if you're only trying to solve marriage inequality, civil union is not the solution. According to California Supreme Court, the fundamental right of people is only not satisfied by a civil union scheme, but it is reached. To this, masasabi natin na civil union accord a reputation that is separate and unequal. Another reason is that the civil unions will not offer the same practical benefits as equality to marriage rights. Because civil union is not widely recognized or understood as equivalent to marriage. In a country where both plaintiff nurses civil unions couples both heterosexual and homosexuals ending up getting married. An example would be in the US. Now, same-sex marriage is legal in 50 states, but not many states recognize civil union. Therefore, when a couple transfers from one state to another, when the civil union is not recognized, their status is invalid, and they will end up getting married instead. At kahit ang isang couple are of the opposite sex or the same, civil union does not provide federal protections of them. LGBTQ people, most of them, if not all, think the civil union is a stepping stone more than an alternative to marriage. That renders the essence of civil union useless.
Ito na ang huli kong katanungan para sa inyong dalawa. Ano ba ang dapat magbigyan ng konsiderasyon? Ang karapatang pantao ng LGBTQ community o ang moral ng ating bansa bilang mga Kristiyano?
I strongly believe that morality outweighs legal rights because moral rights are inalienable, meaning hindi kailan manukuha ng ibang tao mula sa atin bilang tao. On the other hand, legal rights are customary rights that are based on norms, customs, and laws of society. It varies from one place to another. Furthermore, what we consider legal can be immoral. The laws are susceptible to being unjust. Simply put, sometimes what is legally right is morally wrong. Remember in the past that the law made it legal to enslave and kill black people. It is the same law that made women's lives easier to them. But on the brighter side, most laws, if not all, comes from moral principles and the natural laws such as stealing, raping, adultery, etc. Should morality and law be mutually exclusive, at kailangan natin pumili. At the end of the day, a society na walang batas, ngunit moralidad ang siyang nagprovocate, ay mas mabuti kaysa sa isang society na may batas nga pero walang moralidad. Ideally speaking. But in reality, painfully, they can go hand in hand. The preamble itself provides with the Philippine people to negotiate and multitask for us to build a just and human society, establish a government that should embody our ideas and aspirations. Laws should always codify moral principles. Because if we lose our morals, we are destroying the foundations of this noble Philippine society for which our forefathers fought, bled, and died. Morality is a human, and the role of humanity is maintaining morality.
Right. Thank you, Marcus. Do you agree with that narrative?
Ladies and gentlemen, morality is our perception of what is right or what is wrong, while legal or laws serves as our guidance in order to build a working or a harmonious relationship amongst the people. So basically, if we consider morals superior than our laws, it will be chaotic. For example, in a Philippine context where we have a different culture and we have a different beliefs, basically that's irrelevant and will only pose a lot of problems. Because what is right on Luzon will not be right on Mindanao, right? So basically that's why we need laws in order to guide us in a certain direction. But at the end of the day, it will be for the benevolence of the Filipino people, right? But I would like to emphasize that what my point is trying to say is that I want to have a certain Filipino context that morality and laws go hand in hand. How is that, right? So basically, as my partners have been mentioning, these morals, basically these homosexuals or same-sex couples go against our morals. But as what I've said, I would like to normalize these by the state backing a certain policy to acknowledge these people as a part of the community. That hindi lang sila yung na-acknowledge yung babae at lalaki, but basically these LGBTQ community already part of the community. So imagine a world where we acknowledge them as a normal part of the community, not an exemption, not a privilege. A normal part of the community. Hence, we establish a new morality. That is what is right. Because actually, that is what is right. That we have, or we entitle them of their basic human rights. And that is the point, or that is the main point of the morality, to establish what is right and what is wrong. And we want to establish a morality that these homosexuals or these same-sex couples is right on what they are doing. Because at the end of the day, Philippines will be divided, and we're not structured is to limit our perspective on a conservative perspective, but rather be a progressive progressive perspective where we adapt these people into building a certain world that is not only for man and woman, but basically for the wherein that is actually what is right, not just on the moral, but rather that is actually right based on the human rights that we all deserve.
Right.
Engraved on the Constitution.
Alright. Maraming salamat sa mga komprehensibong argumento na Daryl and Marcos na nagbigay ng kaliwanagan sa usapin ng Civil Union. Pero marami pa tayong pag-uusapan kaya kapit lang at magbabalik pa ang Schoolmates.
Balitaan para sa bawat Pilipino. Walang tigil na pagsubaybay sa mga kaganapan. Walang pati na pagkalat ng impormasyong makatutulong sa sambayanan. At laging inuuna ang kapakanan ng bayan. Hatid ng mas pinalakas na pwersa ng PTV News. Kasama sila Yusek Rocky Ignacio at Joey Quilas tuwing Sabado. At sila Eunice Samonte, Daniel Manalastas, Juliet Caranquian at Kenneth Pasyente tuwing Linggo. Ulat Bayan Weekend. Health Watch, alerto, pangkalusugan, ang polio o poliomyelitis ay isang nakakahawang sakit na dulot ng poliovirus. Kumakalat ito sa pamamagitan ng oral fecal route. Isa sa 1,000 kaso ng sakit na ito ay maaaring mauwi sa parasitic polio na kung hindi maaagapan ay maaaring mapiksa na permanenteng paralysis sa binti, mga komplikasyon gaya ng pneumonia, urinary infection, problema sa puso, at maging kamatayan. Upang maiwasan, siguraduhin mapapakunahan ang unang dose ng oral polio vaccine o OPV ang 6 weeks old na sanggol at tiyaking masusundan ito ng mga follow-up boosters sa kanyang ika-10 linggo at ika-14 na linggo. Kasabay ng huling dose ng OPV ay ang IPV or inactivated polio vaccine na ibibigay din sa sanggol sa pagpatak ng kanyang ika-14 na linggo. Tandaan, ligtas ang bakuna laban sa polio. Kaya mapapakunahan ang inyong inyong mga anak para maiwasan ang malulubhang karamdaman. Pangalagaan ang kalusugan para iwas sakit. Huwag malito. Dapat laging listo. Developing stories in the country and around the world. Numbers, facts, insightful analysis, and context on information for a better perspective. The latest news and issues that are relevant to today's times. Get a rundown of it all every night. Only on PTV News Tonight.
So we are back, schoolmates. Ating ipagpapatuloy ngayon ang ating diskusyon patungkol sa civil union para sa mga same-sex couples, and let's delve in more what the LGBTQIA++ community has to say on this. Makakasama natin ngayon ang President ng UP Babaylan, Bella Rivera. Hi, Bella!
Kumusta po tayo ngayong araw?
Wow! Yeah. Just for the information of our students, si Bella po ay aking kaibigan mula sa University of the Philippines. Yeah, so po ay naging classmate ko sa Speechcom. I'm glad you're here today.
Thank you din for having me.
Bella, I'll jumpstart our discussion with the statement of Pope Francis in the documentary titled Francesco. And I quote, "What we have to create is a law of civil union. They have the right to be legally protected. And I have defended that." And of course, yun ang sabi ni Pope Francis. Your initial thoughts when you heard of this statement?
Ako sobrang overwhelmed ako and sobrang thankful din ako sa remark na yun. Kasi imagine, yung nasa rurok o yung nasa tuktok ng Catholicism, yung parang sugo, kumbaga, or at least yung representative ng Catholicism ngayon, nagpapakita ng support sa LGBTQI community. Parang yan sobrang isang, actually hindi lang siya at least one step forward. Parang kumbaga isang malaking hakbang talaga, di ba? Kahit pa paano. Kaya ayun, parang nakakatuwa siya. But then again, of course, ito na yung mga other remarks at least naiisip namin. Meron tayong kailangan din isipin na we have to really be critical of that remark na din. Parang compare natin to dun sa mga previous history, of course, ng church, even dun sa history din ng kay Pope, dun sa kung progressive ba talaga yung mga chika din niya before, and at least, through being critical din, makikita natin kung meron ba ito din talagang magagawa or at least madadalang pagbabago, not just sa Philippines, but even dun sa mga rules din ng iba't ibang mga bansa na nakaka-experience ng discrimination ng iba't ibang mga members ng LGBTQI community when it comes to civil union or marriage equality.
But Bella, you mentioned about the being progressive of Pope Francis. Do you think this is a legitimate progressive remark?
Feel ko on an individual level, progressive siya. Kasi even before, parang meron na siya chika din naman, di ba, na we should embrace our trans siblings, our trans sisters, even on climate issues. Meron talaga siya mga nababanggit na kumbaga ay very progressive na stances. But then again, we have to think about the institution itself. Kasi head si Pope ng isang institution na exactly, isang tao lang naman siya. Diba? Tignan natin kung meron ba siyang binago in the case ng buong doktrina ng simbahan. Diba? Ayun yung gusto kasi natin malaman. Parang, of course, importante na siya nagsusupport, pero yung simbahan ba ay totoo nang sinusuportahan yung same-sex marriage or same-sex civil union. Ayun kasi talaga yung at least, ay yung mas malaking pagbabago eh. Kasi ayun yung makakabago ng mindset ng milyong mga tao.
Right. Pero, Bella, diba, after nito, maraming bumatikos kay Pope Francis, no? With regard na other misconstrued na he's supporting same-sex marriage. Pero ano bang kaibahan niya tong civil union for same-sex couples sa same-sex marriage? Kasi ito yung question ng nakararami, even the Catholics in the Philippines, even ang konserbatibong mga pare ay question ito. So ano ba itong sinasabi ni Pope Francis na civil union? Anong kaibahan nito sa same-sex?
Okay, so same-sex marriage kasi, I think yung pagkakaiba din talaga, or at least yung nalilito yung mga tao, ay of course, when we say marriage, parang ang connotation nito ay pagdating talaga sa simbahan. So in my opinion kasi, kung like same-sex marriage, okay, sige, huwag na kami bigyan ng opportunity pagdating doon kasi that is a very religious context. But when we say same-sex civil union, ng karamihan ng mga queer couples, di ba, when it comes to that, parang magkakaroon na sila ng conjugal property, meron na silang pagkakataon na maging, kumbaga, spouse doon sa mga certificates na kailangan talaga. Of course, nagiging sila yung emergency contact kasi diba meron mga cases na hindi pinapabayaan or at least hindi binibigyan ng pagkakataon na mag-decide yung mga asawa or at least mga partners when it comes to important decisions dahil hindi naman sila considered na asawa pagdating sa mga certificates. So, ayun yung mga hinahabol natin para at least, di ba, kung ano yung mga property na makukuha, maibibigay nila sa kanilang mga anak or at least sa mga adopted na anak, ganun, etc. Ayun yung hinahabol talaga kasi ayun yung importante pagdating talaga sa batas. And I guess dito talaga dapat dumating yung separation talaga ng church and ng state kasi di ba, nai-impede talaga yung karapatan ng karamihan sa atin, yung karamihan ng mga couples na hindi talaga nabibigyan ng opportunity na mamuhay ng maayos dahil wala silang karapatan na hindi nila fully natatamasa.
Right. Bella, so we are talking about the legal protection that LGBTQIA plus community members would want to enjoy as basic right as a normal heterosexual couple. But can I delve into that, Bella? Sorry, ano ba yung mga to? Ano tong mga legal protection you mentioned as emergency contact? On what fields do this play?
Okay. First important dito yung sa mga hospital, for example. Di ba minsan, medyo mahirap dyan kasi kapag in case of death, of course, minsan hindi pinapabayaang ibigay yung katawan, yung partner na matay. So, paano nila Tapos, isipin pa din natin, baka naman yung parents nung namatay ay hindi naman accepting dun sa relationship. So, hindi nagbibigyan ng opportunity na mag-mourn totally yung mga partners. Next pa, of course, sa healthcare din. Merong mga opportunity na bibigyan mo parang magkakaroon ng healthcare package yung buong mga pamilya, but then hindi mo masasama yung partner mo and at least yung mga anak mo kasi hindi kayo considered na isang family unit, di ba? Next nga, it's a property. Diba? Next then, of course, when it comes to spousal privileges na din, and sa employment din mismo yun nga, mga emergency contacts, hindi ka nalang may reach totally, may mga benefits talaga ng for families na hindi nyo pwede ma-afford kasi hindi kayo pamilya. And then, yung masakit din, kasi nakakaawa naman, di ba? Imagine, working hard for your whole life, tapos hindi nyo matatamasa na family, marang sobrang nakakaawa, sobrang hirap talaga nitong problema na ito.
Bella, I would like to add on to that. I-contextualize natin. Let's give a complete example. Kasi we know a professor in UP, Diliman, that experienced this na sana hindi ma-experience sa ibang tao, na sana hindi ma-experience sa ibang LGBTQIA plus community members, na ipinagkait yung natural right niya for his partner para dun sa mahal niya, hindi ba? In terms of makapag-desisyon, nung may sakit siya, and even to the last moment po ng kamatayan para mag-desisyon kung ano ang nais ng kanyang mahal ay hindi ko siya inayaan. And ito yung pinaglalaban dito, Bella, tama, sa civil union, the rights that heterosexual couples enjoy. And we're not asking for more.
Ayun, exactly naman talaga yun. Parang hindi kami naghihingi ng special rights. We just want equal rights for everyone. Parang inisip kasi nila, special rights yung hinihingi. Hindi naman namin gusto na meron kaming voucher sa mga ganito, sa mga ganitong shops. Wala kaming gustong ganun. Gusto lang namin ng equal rights din. Katulad ng natatamasa ng ilan. Actually, ng karamihan, di ba? Gusto natin talaga pagkakapantay-pantay. Wala kaming gustong extra things. Gusto lang namin yung natutuhan nyo din ngayon.
Bella, where are we now? Nasaan tayo? Nasaan ang lipunan natin when it comes to accepting the LGBTQIA plus members and their rights?
totoo lang, I wouldn't say it as accepting. As until now, it's still very intolerant. Ayun yung mahirap na parang, of course, merong mga research na sinasabi, fully accepting na daw tayo. Hindi talaga tolerated lang. Kasi ang dami pa rin cases ng harassment, ang dami pa rin cases ng discrimination sa community, di ba? Hindi pa nga natin mapasa yung Civil Equality Bill, yung ibang mga bills na ilang taon na, 2 dekada nang pino-forward. So, ibig sabihin nun, meron pa rin talagang pagkukulang. Siguro, na lang, dual-weighted siguro sa consciousness din ng mga tao and sa pag-raise ng awareness din. So those are the things that we really have to work on para makamit natin yung mga gusto nating makamit. So ayun, medyo malayo pa, sobrang layo pa ng laban. Mga specific bills na yung pinag-uusapan.
What can we do, Bella, to at least be of help in making the process faster sa nais na LGBTQIA++ members?
Meron tayong tinatawag na bibingka method, yung parang top and bottom, parang sabay yung tinatrabaho yun. So when we say top, ay yung pagdating sa mga legislation.
Did you say bibingka? As in,
Oo.
niluluto?
Yung pagkain na
Okay. Sige.
So parang, when we say that, parang top and bottom, sabay yung tinatrabaho yun. So pag top, ayun yung legislation. So kumbaga, nagpapasa tayo ng iba't ibang mga bills, hindi naman exactly parang pwede agad na national bills. Pwede rin mga anti-discrimination ordinances sa iba't ibang mga cities and even mga barangay, kahit mga gano'n, accepted din yun. Then next yun sa bottom, sa mga laylayan or at least on an individual levels. Kumbaga, magpabarangay-barangay kayo, mag-raise kayo ng awareness mismo sa mga far-flung areas para at least alam nila, di ba, hindi sila in the dark sa mga issues na nararanasan ng karamihan. So yun, kumbaga, pareha yung pagtatrabahukin. In that way, makaka-raise ka ng awareness, pero at the same time, para sa future din ng mga tinuturuan mo right now, matatamasan na nila yun.
We have a long way to go, Bella. Lastly, I want to ask you, you are the president of UP Babaylan, isang organisasyong sumusuporta at pinaglalaban ang karapatan ng LGBTQIA++ community. What do you want to say to those people who continuously oppose the rights of the LGBT members?
Ang karapatang, ang equality ay para sa lahat. Si Jesus ay namatay hindi lang para sa mga cisgender heterosexual people. Namatay si Jesus para sa ating lahat. Diba hindi naman niya sinabi yun na mamamatay ako para sa inyong mga minamahal ang mga hindi nyo ka-gender. Lahat namatay si Jesus para sa ating lahat. So ibig sabihin, parang nakakahiya naman para sa kanya na tayo ng mga tao ay parang very selective sa mga justice na binibigay natin, di ba? I hope that you could also extend that equality to your beliefs then and treat everyone with respect and kindness because respect could go a long way. Sana pati ang community ay bigyan mo ng ganyang pagtrato kasi ganyan ang tinuturi sa ating God. Para kay God and para kay Jesus, lahat pantay-pantay.
Napakaganda, Bella. We are all equal. Thank you so much, Bella. Marami pa tayong pag-uusapan, kaya kapit lang, magbabalik ang Schoolmate!
Higit sa pagbabalita, masusing investigasyon.
Kung kailangan ng paglilinaw, talakayang napapanahon.
Sa pagkalap ng istorya, sumusugod sa aksyon. At sa ngala ng katotohanan, matapang na paglalahad na may kagyat na solusyon.
Bentigo, Keren, Santos, Tulfo, Sanib Puwersa para sa digalibreng balitaan sa Ulat Bayan. Magtanim ng kaalaman. Umanig ng kasaganaan. Mag-agri tayo tuwing Sabado ng umaga dito sa PTV.
Presidential Communications Operations Office po yung report, Secretary Martin. Good morning, Rocky.
Good morning, Secretary Martin.
At ang bayanihan, tupad po namin yung kahit isip po.
Sakma sila Secretary Martin Antana at Undersecretary Rocky Ignacio ng Presidential Communications Operations Office. Public briefing. Laging handa PH. Eksklusibo sa PTV. Stories that affect the nation and news chronicles that shape our lives. All delivered to you by your PNA News Team at Day's End. Anchored by William Peel, Miguel Hill, and Rob Zofo. PNA Newsroom. Mondays to Fridays, 12:30 a.m. A rundown of the day's top stories. Brought to you by the Philippine News Agency. Only here on PTV.
We are back, schoolmates. Being a student during this pandemic is really a struggle, and sometimes it takes a toll on their morale. Aside from internet connection problems, I'm sure kilala natin to, and the number of activities na binibigay ng mga guro. Paano pa kung kinakailangan tulungan ng isang estudyante ang kanyang magulang para maghanap buhay, para naman makaraos sila sa sitwasyon ngayon? Actually, schoolmates, isi-share ko lang naman sa inyo ang kwento ng isang grade 8 student na si M. Baro mula sa sitio Pisoy, Datalanga sa Alabel, Sarangani Province. Ibinahagi ng kanyang guro na si Ethelbert Dimal Somera na nagtuturo sa Datalanga Pisoy Extension School na ang katapangan at katatagan ng kanyang estudyante sa pag-aaral. Aniya, dumating na sa punto na kinakailangan ni M na pumili between continuing her studies or giving it up to help her family earn a living. Actually, nakaka-relate talaga ako dito bilang working student din talaga ako. Pero para kay M, kakayanin niya pagsabayin ang kanyang pag-aaral at pagtulong sa pamilya. Ginawa niya ito ng paraan kung saan sasabay niya ang pagbabasa ng reading modules habang masugid na binabantayan ang kanilang pananim na palay, na malapit ng anihin. So, syempre, talaga naman kahanga-hanga mga kabataan tulad ni M, lalo na sa panahon ngayon. So, instead of complaining, makikita natin na humahanap at gumagawa siya ng paraan para harapin ang kanyang mga suliranin at maipagpatuloy ang kanyang landas tungo sa isang magandang kinabukasan. So, kita natin dito talaga na again, in this pandemic, maraming struggles ang ating mga kabataan. And I think up until now, ako bilang isang working student, nararamdaman ko to na, di ba guys, yun nga, di ba? So, syempre, I think magandang balita to. It's such a great break for all the heavy stuff that we've worked on and talk about. So, ikaw, Gab, ano sa tingin mo about this balita? Kung balita naman ito.
Mahusay, ang galing ni M. Sana, Precious Sky, pamarisan pa siya ng iba pang kabataan, di ba? Siguro, nakikita ko kay M, binalikan na lang yung wise niya, why do I do what I do? Yun ay para sa kanyang pag-aaral, pangarap, at para sa kanyang pamilya. So, isang pagbati sa iyo, sana ang mga kabataan natin ay makakuha ng inspirasyon sa kwento mo. Ikaw, Sky.
Yeah, you know, Gab, you're right. Trisha, isa siyang inspirasyon. Si M na isang inspirasyon because meron siyang gustong makamit, meron siyang struggles, meron siyang pakikibaka, and she is doing her best to accomplish this, to do this, kasi meron siyang gustong marating. And itutuhog ko to sa napag-usapan natin with regard to civil union para sa mga same-sex couples. There's this continuous struggle sa mga same-sex couples and meron silang gustong ma-achieve. And patuloy itong pakikibaka nila na makuha lamang yung karapatan na deserve ng every human being regardless of gender. Gab, what do you think about this issue of civil union?
Napaka-sensitibo. Lalo na tayo nakatira sa isang Catholic-dominated country, di ba? Para sa akin, ang batas ng Biblia hindi na mababago. Ako as a Christian, I believe that the Bible is the word of God, that God is sovereign. Pero bilang isang mamayang Pilipino, ang ating batas, ang batas ng tao, ay pwede pa rin mabago. Nakadepende sa kalagayan ng sitwasyon ng mga taong nasasakupan nito at sa ating mga mambabatas o leader ng bayan. So punta tayo dun sa ating punto ngayong episode. Yung ba sa naging pahayag ni Pope Francis ay binago niya ba ang turo ng bahay? Para sa akin, Precious Sky, hindi naman binago. Binago na lang yung tono at saka yung approach sa ating mga LGBT members. Diba? Kasi ang tawag dito coexistence dahil ang mga miyembro ng LGBT ay tao rin katulad natin na hindi perfecto, na mahal at anak ng Diyos. Yan ay nakasaad din sa ating Biblia. Nirerespeto ko po ang lahat ng klase ng paniniwala, kahit ano pa man ang relihiyon o ang kasarian nyo. Pero para sa akin, tayo ay nasa isang demokratikong bansa at lahat tayo ay may karapatan na magkaroon ng isang legal protection.
You know, Gab, more than the wedding or marriage, ang meaning naman kasi ng mga kapatid natin na LGBTQIA++ community
the respect from the state na pag sila ay nagkasama ay they would also enjoy what regular heterosexual couples enjoy as married couples. Ito yung sa kalusugan, ito ay sa kanilang pagmamayari, etc. I'll share a story sa inyo if you don't mind. Isang professor ko sa UP, meron siyang kinakasama, or kinasama, I would say, he had a partner for 15 or more than 15 years, and sadly, his partner passed on just this couple of months ago. Ang masakit para sa kanya ay hindi siya hinahayaan ng hospital na magdesisyon para sa kanyang mahal, para sa kanyang partner, para sa kanyang katuwang sa buhay. Hindi siya hinayaang mag-decide para sa kanya, hindi siya hinayaang hindi hinayaan ibigay sa kanya yung karapatan na dapat they enjoy as couples, as partners. So itong mga bagay na ito, hindi siya pinagdesisyonan kung ano nang gagawin sa katawan niya, hindi siya pinagdesisyonan kung ano ang dapat nang gawin nung naghihinalo na siya. At ito ang mga sigaw po ng ating mga LGBT++ na mga kapatid. Itong karapatan na ini-enjoy din natin. They're not asking for more. They're not asking na wala tayo. They're just asking what we have, nothing more. Yun po sana. At irespeto natin ito. Hindi natin ini-impose sa iba that na magkaroon sila ng civil union para sa same-sex couple. It works it would work for them, pero hindi nila ini-impose na gawin mo ito. And I think I would like to say how progressive Pope Francis is for standing up for being with everyone regardless of gender. And sana tayo rin ganun ang maging pananaw natin. Kasi parang mas maganda na pakinggan na mas makatao tayo kesa makadiyos tayo but we're hating on others.
Yes, I totally agree sa sinabi niya. And makikita din kasi natin dito na yung primary na angle dito is religion, diba? Yeah. But then, as what we all have said, we respect all beliefs. It's just that kailangan ang basis ng lahat ng ating paniniwala ay respeto pa rin sa kapwa nating tao. Kasi hindi naman mag-e-exist lahat ng mga laws na ito, hindi naman mag-e-exist lahat ng guidelines na ito na ibinibigay sa atin ng religion, kundi rin naman para sa pagkikipagkapwa-tao natin at pakikisama natin sa iba pang uri ng mga nakakasama natin ngayon. So, it's just about pakikipagkapwa-tao, pagkakapantay-pantay, and of course, yung humility.
Magiging tao.
Yes, and humility na we are no better than everyone else just because of how they live their lives. Kasi hindi naman to question kung ano ang tama o mali doon sa paano binubuhay ng isang tao ang sarili niya. Kundi, ang tanong ay paano mo pinakikisamahan ng isang tao regardless kung iba man yung paraan niya ng pamumuhay than you. So, I think magandang usapan din to, no? And I hope patuloy pa rin natin pag-usapan to dahil hindi lang siya dapat natatapos dito sa episode natin. At guys, ang isa pang nakakatuwang balita bukod sa napag-usapan na natin itong episode na to ay nakakatuwa ang ating mga schoolmates na very enthusiastic and supportive sa ating shows. I'm sure nakikita niyo yun sa ating mga IG stories. Tulad na lamang ng ating isang schoolmate na si Francisco Salazar Manicdao. Ito guys, dream daw niya maging schoolmates host. So malay mo, ikaw na next dito. Kaya naman, panoorin po natin ang video na ito.
Well, I'm Francisco Salazar Manicdao from BAPS 3-1 and now going to tackle one of the 12 Olympians, which is the goddess of love, fertility, procreation, and pleasure, which is Aphrodite. And now, without further ado, let's get started.
Wow, diba? We started as this guy. We started as this person wanting to do something.
Dreaming of something.
Diba? Managinip ka. You dream, you strive to do better para maabot mo yung pangarap mo. Saludo kami sa'yo. I hope maybe in the future makasama ka namin dito when things are better. Malay mo, pag tumanda na kami, hindi na kami schoolmates, ay ikaw ang nandito at magkakaroon ng representasyon sa mga kabataan. So, maraming salamat sa iyo. At maraming salamat po sa lahat ng mga schoolmates po na nanonood at patuloy na sumusuporta po sa amin every now and then sa bawat episode. Na nanonood kayo, nakaantabay kayo, tinatangkilik niyo po kami. Maraming salamat.
Right. We are very thankful for the support that we've always been receiving, pati na rin ng mga messages, comments, at sa pagsali nyo sa aming mga diskusyon.
Kaya naman, para ipagpatuloy pa ang ating next episode with that,
sumisigaw sa buong mundo. Schoolmates, may pakialam na!
Naglaan ng Department of Agriculture sa pamamagitan ng Philippine Crop Insurance Corporation ng mahigit 592 million pesos bilang indemnification fund para sa 32,761 mga magsasaka dito sa Bicol kung saan ang kanilang insured crops ay nasira ng Super Typhoon.
Disaster Watch. Mga tatandaan sa pagtama ng bagyo. Manatili sa loob ng bahay. Patayin ang main switch para sa kuryente, gas, at tubig. Umiwas sa mga baybayin at mga lugar na malapit sa tubig, maging ang mga tabi ng bundok. Huwag nang gamitin ang mga appliances at gas tank na lumubog sa tubig. Huwag malito sa panahon ng kalamidad. Dapat laging listo.
Many will lose their jobs. Many will be separated from government. Many will face prosecution. And many will go to jail. You will eat money in front of me. As I've said, I will dedicate the last 2 years or whatever is left of the term to fight corruption.
Sa muli nating pagpasok sa ating mga opisina, narito ang ilang mga gabay pangkaligtasan upang masugpo ang paglaganap ng COVID-19. Hikayatin ng lahat na laging magsuot ng face mask at face shield sa loob ng tanggapan. Ipatupad ang tamang physical distancing at iengganyo ang malimit na paghuhugas ng kamay at paggamit ng disinfectant. Paalalahanan ng lahat na laging i-disinfect ang kanilang mga workstation at huwag mag-share ng mga personal na kagamitan. Hinihikayat din ang mga malalaking kumpanya na magbigay ng shuttle service sa mga manggagawa at magtakda ng minimum health standards sa loob ng sasakyan. Siguruhin na may sapat na ventilasyon sa loob ng opisina at mga shuttle service. At magtakda ng mga smoking area na may divider o individual booth. Dapat din mag-conduct ng mga webinar o training para sa COVID-19 prevention ang Occupational Safety and Health Committee ng tanggapan. Basta't sama-sama at laging handa, kaya natin to. Ang makipagsapalaran sa ibang bansa para sa isang pangarap. Kalaki ang mga sakripisyo at hirap. Dito sa PTV, hangad namin masolusyonan ang mga problemang kinakaharap ng ating mga OFW. Pakinggan ang iba't ibang kwento ng ating mga kababayang abroad dito sa Excess Baggage, The OFW Stories, sa Rise and Shine Pilipinas, Lunes hanggang Biyernes, alas 7 ng umaga. Trending stories in the country and around the world. Numbers, facts, insightful analysis, and context on information for a better perspective. The latest news and issues that are relevant to today's times. Get a rundown of it all every night. Only on PTV News Tonight.
Pangakong napapako. Ito ang mabigat na sentimiento ng MILF sa pamahalaan.
Meron talagang satisfaction.
Dahilan upang maraming Moro combatants ang nag-aatubiling tuyang isuko ang kanilang mga armas.
Sabi nila, hindi natin mabuhay. Bakit tayo mag-decommission naman ng other one?
Giit ng MILF ngayon, palawigin hanggang 2025 pa ang kasalukuyang Bangsamoro Transition Authority. Tunghayan sa isang exclusive interview kay Bangsamoro Chief Minister Ibrahim Murad ng isa sa mga nangungunang broadcast journalist ng bansa na si Cesar Soriano. Magandang gabi, Pilipinas. Ngayong Sabado, dito lang sa PTV4.
Stories that affect the nation and news chronicles that shape our lives. All delivered to you by your PNA Newsman at Day's End. Anchored by William Pia, Miguel Hill, and Ron Zofo. PNA Newsroom, Mondays to Fridays, 12:30 a.m. A rundown of the day's top stories. Brought to you by the Philippine News Agency. Only here on PTV.
Panginoon, sa gitna ng pagkalito at takot na bumabagabag sa amin, balutin ninyo kami ng yakap ng inyong pagmamahal at proteksyon. Palakasin po ninyo ang aming mga katawan. Patuloy na patnubayan ng aming pamilya at mga mahal sa buhay. Tulungan at gabayan po ninyo ang aming mga lider sa kanilang mga desisyon. Pagkalooban ninyo ng lakas ang mga frontliners sa kanilang pagsugpo at pagharap sa karamdaman nito. Aming Ama na pinagmumula ng aming kalakasan, kayo po ang magkaloob ng kagalingan sa lahat ng patuloy na lumalaban sa sakit. Kayo po ang aming sandigan at takbuhan. Sa inyo po ang aming buong pagtitiwala. Dahil alam namin sa gitna ng krisis na ito, hindi ninyo kami pababayaan.
Susunod na programa ay rated PG. Ito ay nangangailangan ng patnubay at gabay ng magulang para sa mga batang manonood.
Walang makapagsasabi kung ano ang mga numerong mananalo sa lahat ng PCSO games. Huwag maniwala sa mga text messages, iham o tawag sa telepono na nagsasabing magbibigay daw sila ng tip kapalit ng pera o cellphone load. Bumili ng ticket sa mga PCSO authorized outlets at PCSO branches bago ang actual draw.
Magandang gabi Pilipinas, alas 9 na at hahakot na naman ang ating mga lotto players ng multi-million pa-premyo ngayong Wednesday gabi, December 5, 2020. Meron na lamang po tayong 5 araw bago ang Pasko at hindi na talaga mapipigilan ang paglipas at sigurado po kami marami na po ang bumili na kanilang mga tickets para sa mga draws natin ngayong gabi dahil bukod po sa exciting prizes, mas marami pa pong gustong manalo para po may pang Christmas shopping ang pamilya at pang-regalo sa mga kamag-anak at kaibigan sa darating na Kapaskuhan. Patingin po muna natin ngayon ang mga nakatutok sa People's Television Network at sa ating mga live streaming channels. Isang maswerteng gabi po sa inyo lahat. Sit back and relax naman po kayo at siguradong mag-i-enjoy kayo sa mga hatid naming sorpresa at naglalakihang jackpot prizes mula sa PCSO. Paalala lamang po na kung sakaling ang inyong lugar ay muling mailagay sa ECQ or MECQ, pansamantala pong ihihinto ang aming bidding operations. Pero kung under GCQ or MGCQ naman kayo, tuloy lamang ang ating mga palaro at kasabay po yan, maaari po kayo mag-claim ng inyong premyo sa pinakamalapit na Lotto outlet o PCSO branch sa inyong lugar. At mahalaga po para sa amin ang inyong kalusugan. Kaya ang paalala po namin lagi, sumunod po tayo sa mga isinatutupad na patakaran ng IATF at ng ating mga LGUs. Ugaliin mag-physical distancing at i-maintain ng 1 hanggang 2 metro distansya sa iba pang bumibili ng Lotto tickets. Sa mga Lotto agents naman, i-maintain po ang compliance sa mga isinatutupad ng ating gobyerno. At sa mga outlets na sarado pa, sundin po ang mga health and safety protocols ng PCSO upang mabigyan na po kayo ng resumption payments. Samantala, sa pagdiriwang po ng ika-86 na anibersaryo ng PCSO, iniimbitahan po namin ang mga amateur photographers o photographers na sumali sa isang photo contest. Para po sa detalye, narito po panoorin natin.
Sumali at manalo sa photo contest ng PCSO. Grab your camera and take your best shots para ibida si Juana ngayong panahon ng pandemya. Ipakita ang kontribusyon ng mga kababaihan para maiwasan ang pagkalat ng COVID-19. Nakipan ng 100 pesos worth of lotto tickets para sa tsansang manalo ng 15,000 pesos. For more details, i-like at i-follow ang FB page ng PCSO GitHub or check the PCSO website.
Kung interesado po kayo sumali pero hindi po kayo nakapag-submit ng inyong entries, huwag po kayo mag-agala dahil extended na po ang deadline of submission of entries hanggang November 30, 2020. Ipadala po ang inyong entries via email sa marketing@pcso.gov.ph. At para naman sa ating mga Lotto players, 20 pesos na lamang po ang presyo ng bawat number combination sa ating jackpot daring game sa Lotto 642, Mega Lotto 645, Super Lotto 649, Grand Lotto 655 at Ultra Lotto 650. Fixed na rin po ang mga consolation prizes sa mga nasabing jackpot daring games. Halimbawa po, sa ating Super Lotto 649 mamaya, if ever mag-match ang tatlong numero ninyo sa ating winning combination, panalo kayo ng 50 pesos. Kung naka-apat na winning numbers naman kayo, 1,200 pesos ang inyong panalo. At kung 5 winning numbers ang nasa ticket ninyo, instant winner kayo ng 50,000 pesos mga kaibigan. At para naman sa Lotto 642, ang premyo kapag nasa ticket po ninyo ang tatlong winning numbers ay 20 pesos. Kung 4 winning numbers naman, panalo po kayo ng 800 pesos. At kapag ibang numero ninyo ang nag-match sa ating winning combination, 24,000 pesos ang inyong premyo. At yan na po ang inyong mga tickets for our games this Thursday evening. We have Patsuni Lotto, 3D Lotto, Lotto 642, and the Super Lotto 649 games. Kasama po natin sa maghahatid na swerte ang mga kinagawan mula sa PCSO at Commission and Audit at syempre ang ating PCSO Draw Team. Bilang panimula, narito po ang mga naging paghahanda sa ginanap na pre-draw procedures kanina.
Sa gaganaping live draws, natuhayan po ng ating mga representatives from PCSO and Commission on Audit ang mga paghahanda bago ang live Lotto draws. Sa pamamagitan ng machine inspection at machine testing, siniguro po na maayos ang kondisyon ng mga draw machines na gagamitin. Only the operation of the remote switch button ang may human intervention. Sa pagpili ng bolang gagamitin, Tatlong set ang pinagpipilian sa bawat game. Randomly, mamimili ang draw representative ng isang set ng bola na gagamitin. Lahat po ng bola ay tinimbang para masiguro na pare-pareho ang bigat ng bawat bola gagamitin. Properly documented at covered po ng video ang bawat activity. Matapos masiguro na ito'y kompleto, ang draw team member ang maglo-load ng mga draw balls na gagamitin sa mga draws.
Yes, oras na para humakot ng multi-million pa premyo. Una natin aalamin ay ang Super Million combination ng Super Lotto 649K. Alright, Super Lotto jackpot prize. 164,575,533 pesos and 20 centavos net of the agent's prize commission. So, please press that button and let's play the Super Lotto 649K. Maraming salamat po sa lahat ng patuloy na tumatangkilik sa mga produkto ng PCSO. Makikita po natin ang 49 draw balls number 1 to 49 na nasa loob ng ating draw machine. Anim na bola po ang hihintay natin team. Good luck sa lahat ng ating mga Super Lotto players. And for the first winning number, we have the number 13. Mga kaibigan, ingatan mabuti ang inyong mga lotto tickets. Bawal pong mabasa o mainitan ng mga yan dahil kailangan pong mag-validate ang inyong lotto ticket sa pag-claim ninyo ng inyong premyo. And for the second number, we have the number 11. Ito po sa Super Lotto, pwede kayong manalo ng 50 pesos kapag nag-match ang tatlong numero ninyo sa ating winning combination. For the third winning number, we have the number 18. Kung sakali naman makuha ninyo ang apat na numero out of the 6 winning numbers, 1,200 pesos ang inyong papremyo. And the fourth winning number is the number 44. Kung 5 out of the 6 winning numbers ang nasa ticket ninyo mga kaibigan, automatic na 50,000 pesos ang mababasa inyo. The fifth winning number is the number 32. Isang numero na naman po ang ating hinihintay para makompleto na ang ating Super Million combination. Sana kayo na nga ang susunod na maging Super Millionario. And for the sixth and final number, we have the number 14. Muli po ang ating Super Lotto 649 winning numbers going to be 13, 11, 18, 44, 32, and 14, which can come in any order for the jackpot prize of 164,575,533 pesos and 20 centavos net of the agent's prize commission. Isa pang multi-million jackpot ang aming ihahatid sa aming pagbabalik.
Oy kapatid, sumubo na yung mama. Pinabot na sa malapit na lukuhan. Hindi lang naman ang iyong kailangan. Pwede mo lang ulit ang aking puhunan. Ikaw ay laro na galing sa puso. Nakatulong pagpasa kapag ako. Panikloto sa mababang presyo. May pag-asa kapatid ang pangarap mo.
Magandang balita po para sa may mga inaalaga ang numero dyan, pwede na kayong mag-advance sa system play. Ito po, pwedeng laruin for up to 6 consecutive draws ang inyong mga paboritong number combination. Sigurado lang kasali na kayo sa mga susunod na draws. Less physical exposure pa ngayong panahon ng COVID-19 pandemic. Pilipinas, alamin naman natin kung nasa ticket ninyo ang mga lucky numbers na ang Lotto 642 game. Bila sa ating Lotto 642 jackpot prize Gregory, 5,940,000 pesos net of the agent's prize commission. Once again, sir, please press that button and let's now play the Lotto 642 game. Kaibigan, nakikita po ninyo ang 42 balls, numbers 1 to 42 na nasa loob ng ating draw machine. 6 na bola pa rin po ang hihintay natin piliin para sa ating Lotto 642 winning combination ngayong Huwebes na gabi. Good luck sa lahat ng mga tickets. And for the first winning number, we have the number 21. Dito po sa Lotto 642, pwede kayo manalo ng 20 pesos kung sakaling mag-match ang tatlong numero ninyo sa ating mga winning numbers. For the second number, we have the number 20. 800 pesos naman po ang inyong mapapanalunan kung makuha po ninyo ang 4 out of the 6 winning numbers dito sa Lotto 642. And for the third number, we have the number 4. At kung 5 winning numbers naman ang nasa ticket ninyo mga kaibigan, 24,000 pesos kaagad ang inyong panalo. For the fourth number, we have the number 27. Lotto winners, ready na po kayo mag-claim ng inyong premyo. Mangyari magtungo lamang kayo sa mga tanggapan ng PCSO o sa mga Lotto outlets nationwide na sa ilalim ng GCQ or NGCQ. And for the fifth winning number, we have the number 32. Isang bola na naman po ang ating pinit ay palingin. Kahit piliin para makompleto na ang ating winning combination. Sana kayo na nga po ang susunod na maging Lotto Milyonaryo. For the sixth and final number, we have the number 10. That means here are tonight's official Lotto 642 winning numbers, which can come in any order. We have 21, 20, 4, 27, 32, and 10 for the jackpot prize of 5,940,000 pesos, net of the agent's prize commission. Susunod na, nag-uumapaw na sorpresa at pag-premyo mula sa mga paborito ninyong digit games. Pero bago po yan, may mahalagang anunsyo po muna ang PCSO. Panoorin po natin ito.
All NCR Lotto and Keno agents and tellers. Please be informed that starting September 4, 2020, all requests for the renewal of Lotto and Keno agents and tellers IDs in the National Capital Region shall be temporarily suspended until further notice. All IDs which expired from January 2020 to present in the NCR will remain effective and can still be used for Lotto or Keno terminal operation as an extension of their ID's validity. All walk-in or face-to-face transactions of the PCSO Training Division shall be entertained only upon a confirmed schedule through the phone-in or online requests. All services offered by the Training Division, except for the renewal of IDs, which is temporarily suspended, may be requested and verified through the following contact numbers. Araw-araw, libo-libo ang pagpremyo. Araw-araw, 3 times a day, maaring manalo. Ang dali-dali na maglaro at sumali dito. Favorite numbers from 1 to 31 ang pagpipilian para sa 2D Lotto. At tatlong numero naman from 0 to 9 for the 3D Lotto. Exciting prizes at naghihintay sa inyo. So what are you waiting for? Sugod na sa Lotto outlets at araw-araw, let's play Lotto!
Umaarangkada na rin sa paghahatid ng swerte ang paborito ninyong 2D Lotto at 3D Lotto games. Tatlong beses kada araw pwedeng ma-enjoy ang panalo ng 2 at 3 numbers ninyo every 2 p.m., 5 p.m., and 9 in the evening. Mapapanood mo ang 2 p.m. at 5 p.m. draws sa ating live streaming channels sa Facebook at sa YouTube, habang ang 9 p.m. draws naman po natin ay live na mapapanood sa People's Television Network at sa ating mga social media accounts. Digit Game Players, oras na para alamin ang swerte ng tatlong numero ninyo. Let's play the 3D Lotto game. Lotto players, narito na ang mapremyong dala ng 3D Lotto game. Same mechanics po ito sa ating 2 p.m. and 5 p.m. draws. 3 numbers ninyo pwedeng manalo ng 4,500 pesos. Kapag nag-match sa mapipiling 3D Lotto winning combination in exact order, 750 pesos o 1,500 pesos naman ang pwedeng mapanalunan kung kayo ay nag-rambolito. And here are the 3D Lotto winning numbers for the 9 p.m. draw. For the first number, we have the number 8. Second number is a 0. And the third and final number is the number 3. Again, tonight's 3D Lotto winning combination is 8, 0, and 3 in exact order. Dalawang numero naman ang susunod na bibida right after this break.
Pinangalagaan nila tayo laban sa COVID-19. Pangalagaan naman natin sila laban sa diskriminasyon. Mag-physical distancing, ngunit huwag natin silang pagdilihan. Ang ating mga frontliners ay armado ng personal protective equipment at palagian din na disinfect magbago at matapos ng kanilang trabaho. Siguraduhin na meron silang masasakyan. Tulungan natin silang makarating sa lugar ng kanilang trabaho. Lalo na ang ating mga healthcare workers upang mas marami pang buhay ang kanilang maisaktan. Itigil ang pananakit sa salita man at higit sa gawa at ipamalas na lamang ang ating suporta. Isa-isip natin ang bigat ng kanilang responsibilidad. Sila man ay tao rin na napapagod, nahihirapan at nasasaktan. Kung may masaksihang anumang uri ng kalupitan o pananamantala sa ating mga frontliners, mapa-online man or offline, i-report agad ito sa kinauukulan. Ihanda ang katibayan ng ulat at tumawag o mag-text sa National Bureau of Investigation sa mga numerong ito. Basta't sama-sama at laging handa, kaya natin ito.
PCSO social media followers, hindi pa rin paaawat ang mga manloloko gamit ang PCSO. Using Facebook and Messenger, iba't ibang mga posters gamit ang iba't ibang style ng panloloko. Nag-top sa ating list ang mga manloloko ang FB account na PCSO Grand Lotto Jackpot Results at PCSO Lotto Results Today. Iba't ibang pangako, bahay, sasakyan, at maraming pera na talaga naman pong nakakaingatan nyo. Sa Messenger naman, sample lang po itong si Ann na pwede din gumamit ng iba't ibang pangalan. Style naman ito na mala-pyramiding scam. Mga kababayan, ito lamang po ang PCSO official FB account. Makikita po ninyo ang blue badge na ibig sabihin ay verified and official account of PCSO. Yan din po sa account na yan ay pwede po kayong mag-PM for more inquiries. Gamitin po natin sa tama ang social media. Maging mapagmasid, maging matalino, at wag na pong magpapaloko.
Isang mahalagang paalala po mga kaibigan, huwag pong basta maniwala sa mga social media posts na gumagamit sa pangalan at logo ng PCSO para makapanloko. Isa na po dyan ang Facebook account na Hero sa Pandemya na nagsasabing mamimigay di umano ang PCSO ng 30 hanggang 60,000 piso bilang pamaskong tulong sa bawat pamilya ngayong panahon ng pandemya. Scam po yan mga kaibigan, at para hindi maging biktima ng mga ganyang modus, always look for the blue badge para makasigurong nasa official Facebook account po kayo ng PCSO. Game time na ulit tayo mga kaibigan, dalawang muna naman ang magpapapremyo as we now play the 2D Lotto game. Sa mga ngayon lamang nag-tune in, nasa 2D Lotto Draw na po tayo. Sa game na ito, pwede kayong manalo ng 4,000 piso kapag nag-match ang two numbers ninyo sa ating winning combination in exact order. Sa mga nag-rumble pushes na play naman, 2,000 piso ang pwede ninyong mapanalunan. At narito na po ang resulta ng ating 2D Lotto Draw for the first number. We have the number 15. And for the second number, we have the number 18. Recapping our 2D Lotto winning numbers for our 9 p.m. draw, we have 15 and 18 in exact order. Congratulations to all our winners at kung may tickets kayo para sa ginanap na 2 p.m. at 5 p.m. draws kanina. Narito po ang mga winning combinations. The results of our 2 p.m. draw for the 3D Lotto. The winning combination is 1, 5, and 5 in exact order. For the 2D Lotto, the winning numbers are 30 and 18 in exact order. And for the results of the 5 p.m. draw for the 3D Lotto, the winning combination is 7, 4, and 9 in exact order. And for the 2D Lotto, the winning numbers are 4 and 7 in exact order. Nangunguna na sa pamimigay ng multimilyong papremyo, number 1 pa sa kawang gawa ang PCSO. Kahapon, November 4, 2020, umabot sa over 6.4 million pesos ang naipaabot na tulong sa 851 nating mga kababayan na dumulog sa ating tanggapan. 1.3 million pesos ang inilaan para sa 117 patients natin sa National Capital Region. Nakatanggap rin ng over 1.7 million pesos na halaga ng tulong ang 237 nating mga kababayan sa Northern and Central Luzon. Sa Southern Tagalog and Bicol Region naman, umabot sa over 1.1 million pesos ang naipamigay sa 189 nating mga kababayan. Mahigit 1.2 million pesos naman ang tinanggap na tulong ng 162 patients from the Visayas. At over 900,000 pesos ang naipamahaging tulong sa 146 nating mga kababayan sa Mindanao. Ang puso ng PCSO ay para sa Pilipino, kaya tangkilitin ang mga PCSO Games ang mga palarong may puso. Para po sa kaligtasan ng mga hihingi ng tulong sa ating Medical Access Program para sa NCR, online na po ang submission ng medical assistance requests. Mangyaring maglago lamang po kayo sa PCSO website, click ang e-service tab at sundin ang mga instructions na inyong mababasa. Naunawa rin po na kailangan isubmit po sa ospital ang original copy ng final statement of account, medical abstract, at kopya ng valid ID ng pasyente at ng tutuan, malapit po ang aprobadong case. Good news, STL players! Malalaro niyo ng muli ang inyong paboritong STL games dahil authorized to operate na po ang Small Town Lottery sa maraming lugar sa bansa. At sa may mga tickets para sa ginanap na STL Departmentalized Draws kanina alas 7 ng gabi for the Visayas, excluding Guimaras, Negros Occidental at Bacolod City, narito po ang mga numbers. OBSTL Pares, we have 9 and 7 in exact order. OBSTL Square 2, 4 and 2 in exact order. And for the STL Square 3, the winning combination is 8, 5 and 2 in exact order. Para naman sa resulta ng STL Departmentalized Draws for Mindanao, para pa rin kaninang alas 7 ng gabi. Paalala po na hindi po kasama dito ang Davao City, Zamboanga City, Davao Occidental, Lanao del Norte, Sultan Kudarat, Zamboanga del Sur at Zamboanga Sibugay. For the STL Pares, we have 33 and 19 in exact order. For the STL Surat 2, 9 and 4 in exact order. And for the STL Surat 3, 1, 7 and 0 in exact order. Sa mga areas naman kung saan hindi pa operational ang STL, may magandang balita po kami para sa mga nagnanais maging partner ng PCSO. Narito po, panoorin natin.
The Philippine Charity Sweepstakes Office will soon accept applications for small town lottery operations in the following areas: the provinces of Baclan, Albay, Antique, Aurora, Bohol, Camiguin, Capiz, Davao Occidental, Ifugao, Iloilo, Lanao del Sur, Maguindanao, Marinduque, Masbate, Northern Samar, Oriental Mindoro, Palawan, excluding Puerto Princesa City, Pangasinan, Quirino, Rizal, Sultan Kudarat, Sulu, Tawi-Tawi, Zamboanga Sibugay, and the cities of Caloocan, Cebu, Iloilo, Las Piñas, Makati, Malabon, Manila, Muntinlupa, Navotas, Parañaque, Pasay, Quezon City, Taguig, and Valenzuela, and the municipality of Pateros. To qualify, the STL applicant must be a duly registered corporation with the Securities and Exchange Commission, has a minimum paid-up capital of at least pesos, and 100% owned by Filipino individuals. For the list of other requirements and guidelines, you may call the PCSO Branch Operations Sector or visit the PCSO website.
Mga kababayan, mas pinarami na po ang pagkakataong manalo sa Kino Lotto Express dahil simula po bukas November 6, 2020, every 5 minutes na pwede maglaro at manalo sa game nito. 10 piso lamang po per player ang puhunan pero siguradong masisiyahan kayo sa instant saya at pagpremyo. Selling of tickets is from 7 in the morning up to 8 in the evening. At para po sa mga ilaman ng tune-in, ulitin ko na po ang resulta sa ginanap na 9 p.m. draws. Simulan po natin sa ating Zuni Lotto winning numbers. We have 15 and 18 in exact order. For our 3D Lotto winning combination for the 9 p.m. draw, we have 8, 0, and 3 in exact order. Our nationwide Lotto 642 winning numbers tonight: 41, 20, 4, 27, 32, and 10, which can come in and order for the jackpot prize of 5,940,000 pesos, net of the agent's prize commission. And last but definitely not the least, our nationwide Super Lotto 649 winning numbers tonight are 13, 11, 18, 44, 32, and 14, which can come in and order for the jackpot prize of 164,575,533 pesos and 20 centavos, net of the agent's prize commission. Congratulations to all our winners, and to know how to win prizes, let's watch this.
Super na ang papremyo, super bilis pa at dali pang mag-win ng prizes sa Lotto Games ng PCSO Lottery Draws. Kung ikaw ay isa sa maswerteng nanalo sa Lotto Games, isulat lang ang inyong pangalan at pirmahan ang likod ng inyong winning ticket. Kung 20 pesos hanggang 10,000 pesos ang napanalunan, pwede i-claim ang inyong prizes sa kahit saang authorized Lotto outlet near you. And for winners of more than 10,000 pesos hanggang 300,000 pesos, you can claim your prizes at the nearest PCSO branch in your area and present 2 valid IDs. Kung ikaw naman ang super swerteng nanalo ng jackpot prize, dalhin lang ang inyong winning ticket at 2 valid IDs sa PCSO main office, Shaw Boulevard, Mandaluyong City. To all the winners, congratulations po! Maraming tatanong tungkol sa Lotto. Maliban sa 20 pesos, swerte ang puhunan para maging instant milyonaryo. Oportunidad at pagkakataon ay di mabilang para makamit ang swerte. Tunay na pinagkakatiwalaan sa mga sulok ng mundo. Ano pang hinihintay ninyo? Subod na sa mga Lotto outlets at bumili ng mga tickets ninyo. Para sa bayan, PCSO laging nandyan. Araw-araw, let's play Lotto!
Lotto winners, pwede na kayo mag-claim ng inyong premyo sa mga PCSO offices at selected Lotto outlets. Iba't ibang quarantine categories po ang ipinatutupad, kaya hindi pa lahat ng outlets ay operational. Ay sinusunod pong health and safety protocols ang ating mga game outlets. Isa na po dyan ang pagkakaroon ng floor markers para maayos na implementasyon ng social distancing. Sa ating po mga operators and tellers, responsibility po ninyo ang pagpapatupad ng social distancing at frequent disinfection ng inyong outlets. Ang outlet personnel naman po ay dapat naka-face mask at face shield at gumagamit ng money tray. At sa ating mga PCSO game players, sumunod po tayo sa mga pinatutupad na health and safety protocols sa mga PCSO outlets. Remember, no face mask, no face shield, no ticket. At narito na ba ang resulta kung may jackpot winners tayo tonight? Thank you very much. Wala po tayong naging masuswerteng winners sa ating Lotto 642 and Super Lotto 649 draws ngayong Webes ng gabi. Magsama-sama muli tayo bukas para sa panibagong araw at saya at papremyo sa ating 2 p.m., 5 p.m., and 9 p.m. draws. Para po sa ating jackpot estimates, for tomorrow's Mega Lotto 645, the estimated jackpot price is 73 million pesos. Habang sa Ultra Lotto 658, 55 million pesos. At para naman sa Sabado, sa Grand Lotto 655 is 49.7 million pesos. Eh, huwag pong kalilimutang bumili ng mga tickets para may pagkakataon po kayo na magsusunod na Lotto Millionaire. So for tonight, para po sa PCSO, kung gusto nyo reservo, let us all play as one, taking you as one.
Pangakong napapako. Ito ang mabigat na sentimiento ng MILF sa pamahalaan.
Meron talagang satisfaction.
Dahil ano bang maraming Moro combatants ang nag-aatubiling tuloy ang isuko ang kanilang mga armas.
Sabi nila, kung hindi natin magawa, bakit tayo mag-decommission naman ng another one?
Giit ng MILF ngayon, palawigin hanggang 2025 pa ang kasalukuyang Bangsamoro Transition Authority. Tunghayan sa isang exclusive interview kay Bangsamoro Chief Minister Ibrahim Murad ng isa sa mga nangungunang broadcast journalist ng bansa na si Cesar Soriano. Magandang gabi, Pilipinas. Ngayong Sabado, dito lang sa PTV4.
Sa panahon ng kalamidad, laging nakahandang magbigay ng mahalagang impormasyon sa bawat Pilipino. Saan man panig ng Pilipinas, laging nakahandang mag-ulat mula mismo sa sentro ng mga kaganapan. Laging nakahandang harapin anumang uri ng panahon, maihatid lamang ang pinakabagong balita sa sambayanan. Dahil dito sa PTV, anumang oras, lagi kaming nakahandang maglingkod para sa bayan.
Narito na, dumadagundong ang lahat ng Pilipino sumadlubog. Unlad, Pilipinas. Ipakikita sa mundo ang galing ng Pilipino. Ibabahagi ng batikang broadcaster na si Cesar Soriano ang mga proyekto at kaganapang patuloy na sumusulong sa iba't ibang dako ng Pilipinas. Unlad, Pilipinas. Dito lang sa PTV. Unlad, Pilipinas.
Balitaan para sa bawat Pilipino. Walang tigil na pagsubaybay sa mga kaganapan. Walang patid na pagkalat ng impormasyong makatutulong sa sambayanan. At laging inuuna ang kapakanan ng bayan. Hatid ng mas pinalakas na puwersa ng PTV News. Kasama sila Yusek Rocky Ignacio at Joey Quilas tuwing Sabado. At sila Eunice Samonte, Daniel Manalastas, Juliet Garanquingan, at Kenneth Pasyente tuwing Linggo. Ulat Bayan Weekend.
Sa gitna ng krisis na ating kinakaharap, dalawang bagay ang naiaalay sa bayan ng ating programa, katotohanan at malasakit.
Komprehensibo at matapang nating tatalakayin ang bawat sulok ng ito. Dahil ganitong klaseng balitaan ang karapatang malaman ng mga mamamayan.
Hindi lang tayo basta nagbabalita.
Ginagampanan din natin ang ating responsibilidad sa ating kapwa.
Balitaang may puso. Yan ang hatid ng Sentro Balita. Lunes hanggang Biyernes sa PTV. Upang mabigyan ng pangmatagalang tulong ang ating mga kababayang nais magbalik probinsya at makapagsimulan muli, pinagtibay ni Pangulong Duterte ang Executive Order No. 114 o ang Balik Probinsya Bagong Pag-asa Program.
Go home to the province. We have the means of going back there. And there is a promise. What is really very important is we give them hope.
Na-issue din po kahapon ng ating Presidente, Executive Order No. 114. Ito po ay yung sa Balik Probinsya Bagong Pag-asa Program as a pillar of balanced regional development.
Noong ika-20 ng Mayo, ang programa ay matagumpay na nakapagpauwi na ng mahigit 100 residente pabalik ng Leyte na inaasahang darami pa. At dahil nais agarang tugunan ang mga pangangailangan ng ating mga stranded na kababayan, ipinagpaliban muna ang rollout ng Balik Probinsya Bagong Pag-asa Program upang ihandog ng ating pamahalaan ang hatid tulong.
I decided as a matter of strategy na isuspend muna ang ating rollouts for the Balik Probinsya Bagong Pag-asa. To give way, unahin natin. Kasi this was a very clear instruction from the President. Unahin, pauwi na ang ating mga kababayan na stranded dito sa Maynila. Pagdating ng panahon, natapos na itong mga problema ng stranded na Balik Probinsya will now make the second phase already in the succeeding rollouts and simultaneous rollouts to all of the provinces and territories.
Pilipino po kapabayan natin, tanggapin ninyo and provide for residential houses that you want. Yung doon sila i-quarantine. Pero happy tayo sa problema. Total hindi naman kami nagkulang. Whatever you need, we provide. Ito ako, tulungan ninyo yung mga Pilipino.
sa nalalapit na paggunita sa undas. Narito ang mga guidelines sa pagbisita sa ating mga mahal na yumao. Lahat ng sementeryo, Memorial Park at Columbarium ay sarado mula October 29 hanggang November 4. Mula November 5 hanggang 15, 30% lamang ng kabuo ang venue capacity ang pinahihintulutan. Wala ring age restrictions ang ipatutupad sa mga araw na ito. Basta't tandaan na kailangan pa rin sundin ang minimum public health standards sa mga sementeryo. Sama-sama nating gawing makabuluhan ang pagdiriwang ng undas ng may kalakip na ibayong pag-iingat.
Para sa bayan! Ang susunod na programa ay Rated PG. Ito ay nangangailangan ng patnubay at gabay ng magulang para sa mga batang manonood.
Severe tropical storm Shawnee slightly intensifies as it moves closer towards Luzon Strait, threatening the Batangas and Bacolod Islands as well as extreme northern Luzon. The Department of Interior and local government issued show-cause orders asking 10 mayors to explain their absence during a onslaught of super-making laws. Democrat Joe Biden moves closer to victory in the U.S. presidential election as incumbent Donald Trump mounts legal challenge over alleged fraud.
Good evening. Welcome to PTV News Tonight. Preparations for the onslaught of tropical storm Shawnee are in full swing for the provinces of Batanes, Cagayan, and Car. The full details in our provincial roundup by Oliver Bakay. The Batanes LGU and residents are busy with their preparations for the expected landfall of severe tropical storm Shawnee. Basque Tour Guides Association members help the residents in securing their routes and installing wind shutters.
Hindi na bago sa sa part ng Batanes Tour Guides Association yung mga ganitong kawang-gawa activities kasi mula ho nung na-establish ang Batanes Tour Guides Association ay lagi na ho every time po na may kalamidad at saka sa mga pangangailangan ho ng labor for free ay lagi pong handa ang Batanes Tour Guides Association na tumugon.
In Calayan Island, residents are preparing for the onslaught of severe tropical storm Shawnee. As the weather disturbance inches closer, strong winds and the rise in sea current can already be felt. Despite this, Calayan is still not being battered by heavy rains. In Cagayan, preparations are now in full swing and signal number 1 has been raised in the province since Wednesday. Governor Manuel Mamba said that they are already accustomed in dealing with weather disturbances and are ready for any eventuality.
Some of our roads are still partially closed, pero may mga alternate routes pa naman kami. Of course, yung mga heavy equipments natin, provided by, of course, the government and mga public units, including our private contractors and DPWH, pinupumpuni rin po ito mga ito.
Meanwhile, various government agencies and residents of the Cordillera Administrative Region are also preparing for Shawnee onslaught. DSWD has already prepared more than 14,000 food packs and almost 60,000 land food items amounting to almost 17 million pesos. Rescue crews are on hand for possible deployment in case the need arises. Cordillera and Apayao are expected to be hit by severe tropical storm Shawnee. Oliver Tamayo Bakay of the Philippine Information Agency for the Nation.
Residents of Cagayan are likewise not taking chances amid the threat of severe tropical storm Shawnee. They too are making sure they will be safe from the incoming weather disturbance. Kenneth Paciente tells us more.
Despite the calm weather, residents of Cagayan refused to stay complacent and instead prepared for the possible effects of tropical storm Shawnee hitting their province. Those who live in the coastal areas, who are prone to high waves and storm surges, already know what to do, like Narciso, who securely tied the roof of his house up. This is the default strategy every time a calamity is about to hit the area.
Galta galota meta sarta ay galota meta sarta narigat tano itap di angin ata on pangsukat may.
Fishermen also remove their motor bankas along the shoreline to keep them from drifting out to sea. But if some were busy preparing, some took the opportunity of good weather, like these farmers who will dry their palay under the heat of the sun.
Bibilag natin para hindi ngayong kayong bagyo habang maaraw pa.
Cagayan Governor Manuel Pampas said that the PDRRMO is on red alert status due to tropical depression Shawnee. This means that their quick response team is in full force once the need arises. But the LGU made sure they were careful in identifying evacuation centers amid the imminent threat of COVID-19.
Pinaghanda namin ng mga isolation areas. So, identify po yun. So, they have to identify new evacuation centers. Yung mga evacuation center kasi ng mga kapon natin, ang mga na-construct natin yun, was turned, most of them were turned into isolation.
All rescue equipment are now also in place, like the rescue boats. Though all is already laid out, authorities ask for the cooperation of the residents.
Ang target kasi natin dito, zero casualty. So, it's best na wala tayong nire-rescue.
As of now, authorities have not done any preemptive evacuation just yet, but asked the residents to remain alert and not wait for the weather to worsen before they evacuate. Kenneth Paciente for the nation.
Government officials, especially elected representation or leadership, are public servants, hence they function on a 24/7 standby and on-call clock. PTV correspondent Patrick Denisu shines the light on a number of LGU chief executives in trouble with the DILG for allegedly having been no-shows or nowhere to be found when Super Typhoon Ronnie hit last Sunday.
The Department of the Interior and Local Government or DILG has now issued show cause orders against 10 local chief executives who were allegedly missing in action during the onslaught of Typhoon Rolly. DILG Secretary Eduardo Anyo previously reported these erring officials to President Rodrigo Duterte. Hopefully today natanggap na nila. They have 5 days to reply to explain bakit wala sila sa kanilang station. And probably by next week, malalaman natin. Although not yet identified, Malaya said that these mayors are from the provinces where the typhoon hit hard, like regions 8, 5, 4A, 4B, and even in the NCR. Nandun din yung aming pangangailangan for due process. Bigyan natin sila ng kaukulang panahon, no? Na magpaliwanag. Because hindi naman sila presidential appointee ng Pangulo na pwede mo nalang tanggalin, no? If the reports are eventually proven and if they fail to submit their explanations, the DILG will file cases against them with the Office of the Ombudsman where they could face charges of dereliction of duty and grave misconduct. Meanwhile, additional 1,334 contact tracers from the DILG are now deployed in Laguna. The province's contact tracing ratio is only at 1:3, and the agency hopes to now comply with the 1:37 standard. Different government agencies also engage with other LGUs in Laguna today for assessment of their COVID-19 response, which their big brother, PCOO Secretary Martin Andanar, attended.
Ang Laguna po ay nasa airport to the last na meron pong COVID-19 incident. At number 1 po ang Laguna ngayon sa recovery rate.
Patrick De Jesus for the nation.
When you fail to prepare, you're preparing yourself for failure. A gem of wisdom the Department of Agriculture has taken to heart That's why long before Tropical Storm Shawnee managed landfall, the agency had already advised farmers to harvest their crops earlier than usual. LGUs, on the other hand, received a directive to prepare for Shawnee. Eunice Samonte has the full details. 5.5 billion pesos is the initial cost of damages in the agriculture sector from devastation of Typhoon Quinta and Super Typhoon Raleigh. Agriculture Secretary William Dar said the most affected are those with rice fields and lands planted with high-value crops.
Ang pinaka-apektado dito sa ruling ngayon ay Catanduanes and the whole of Bicol region.
That's why for Typhoon Shawnee, the farmers were advised to harvest their crops earlier to avoid washed-out lands.
Yung kung pwede na magtanim ang mga farmers at ganun din ang mga fisher folk. Magbibigay po kami ng mga sa mga farmers ay magbibigay po kami ng mga buto ng palay, corn, mga vegetable seeds.
10,000 to 15,000 pesos will also be given to the farmers who are registered in the Farmers Registry. Local government units were also given directives by the President.
Pinatata ko ni Pangulong Duterte na normalcy. Restore normalcy po sa bawat probinsya, sa bawat munisipyo.
There were also fewer casualties because they were more prepared this time.
Naghanda talaga sila bago dumating pa yung bagyo, yung mga evacuation sites nila, yung preemptive evacuation.
The government expects fewer casualties from Typhoon Shawnee because of the urgent preparations made. Eunice Samonte for the Nation.
Getting help to an island province after a huge calamity could be a logistics nightmare. Yet much of the help the province of Catanduanes needs in the post-calamity rebuild and repair phase is now there, having arrived incredibly quickly. PTV correspondent on assignment Ryan Gasigas on an upbeat LGBT over government's fantastic disaster response plus the figures on losses on lives and property in this report.
Catanduanes Governor Joseph Cua, Congressman Hector Sanchez, and other local government officers are very much thankful for the swift response of the national government to the province after being battered by Super Typhoon Raleigh. According to Cua, Catanduanes is one of the areas least noticed by the national government whenever there is a calamity.
Pero ito nakarampag yung Raleigh, talagang nagpadala kayo kaagad hari ng isat na kung saan after typhoon kaagad nalaman niyo ang kalagayan namin.
Congressman Hector Sanchez meanwhile requested the BICAM to help them quickly in order to immediately fix government facilities in Catanduanes like hospitals, Capitol, and the like. Sanchez is also speeding up the restoration of water and electricity lines.
Sana po, dati po naman kayo dating congressman at yun po makakatulong po sa ating mahal na Pangulo na kung paano ma-expedite po itong pangangailangan sa ating probinsya.
According to Presidential Spokesperson Harry Roque, 60 tons of relief goods arrived here in Catanduanes. He further added that a Visayan Electric Cooperative came to help for the power restoration. Because of this, the TO expects restored electricity lines to vital installations in the town of Virac before Christmas. 6 people have died here in Catanduanes due to the super typhoon. The latest is a 48-year-old man from San Andres. According to San Andres Mayor Peter Lua, the victim was trying to bind or tie up their roof so as not to be blown away. But unfortunately, he was carried away by the strong winds. The PDRRMO also reported another person missing, while those injured rose to more than 100. The number of affected families has climbed to over 35,000 or equivalent to over 142,000 individuals. The cost of damage to the provincial agricultural sector has reached over 1.4 billion pesos, with the abaca industry being the most affected.
So ngayon po, meron din po tayong 592 million in crop insurance na maibibigay sa ating mga magsasaka. Ito po ay between 10 to 15,000 para po dito sa mga
damage to infrastructure, meanwhile, climbed to more than 300 million pesos. From the island of Catanduanes, Ryan Lisiges for the nation.
The supply of rice, food, and other relief items for Albay province's refugees and typhoon victims is nearly running on empty. Likewise, the provincial government is strapped for cash and financial resources. PTV correspondent on assignment Karen Villanda on Albay's governor, expressing confidence on the national government's impending intervention to replenish and remedy in this report.
Helen considers their survival a miracle when a stream of lava flowed with big rocks in San Francisco, Ginobatan, Albay during Typhoon Rolly, sweeping and crushing everything in its way. She said a piece of metal struck them while they were clinging to a tree to stay alive. When they returned the next day, her bag consisting of important documents such as IDs, ATM, money, and rosary was found near the piece of metal that struck them. Even the novenario shockingly did not get wet in the flood, but Helen got emotional when she read the verse inside the novenario.
Ito'y naglakad sa loob ng 3 araw sa ibabaw ng tubig, ngunit hindi nalunod at hinihaon siya. Ito lahat ng kumpetong ay di ko nakuha ko kinabukasan. Kaya doon pa lang ako nakahinga. Sabi ko, ito nga tulad ang totoong Diyos. Nagbigay sa akin ng talagang panglalang buhay.
According to the provincial government of Albay, we already have a plan for relocation for quite some time now. In fact, they already bought a sizable piece of land but do not have a working budget to build houses.
Wala, pero naman budget yan ang mga DFWD noon for shelter. Nilipat na yun. Nung pumasok yung okay, yung dating sekretary ng babae, nung pumasok yan, ipinalipat sa NSA. So, yung DFWD, walang budget for this purpose. Napunta sa NSA lahat.
On the latest count of PSWDO, around 20,000 houses were destroyed due to Typhoon Rolly. Based on the initial calculation by the BDRRMO, an estimated 300 million pesos budget is needed to relocate 15 to 20,000 families. While there is no relocation yet, residents will stay in evacuation centers.
Ang budget namin sa BRRM pa 121 million lang, 1 year. Hindi kakayanin yan. Ang mangyayari dyan, babalik sila sa danger zone. Kung babalik, hindi natin mapipigil yan. Yan ang nangyayari dito sa Albay. Pabalik-balik yan.
Karen Villanda for the nation.
The towns and cities of Albay province are strung along and around Mayon volcano. And though Danagkag, Ginobatan, and Kamalig may have been the hardest hit, Legazpi City is not far behind and in no better shape with only 20 kilometers between them. PTV senior correspondent Mela Les Moras gives us a peek on the magnitude of destruction on the ground in the provincial capital and the round-the-clock relief pack preparations there in this report.
Due to its severe wreckage, Aileen Arimado almost didn't recognize their own house in Legazpi City in Albay after the onslaught of Super Typhoon Rolly. She said their family was able to evacuate ahead of time, so despite everything, they are all safe and relieved.
Pag-uwi ko po dito, nakita ko, umiyak ako. Tapos sabi ko, paano daw kami makakabangon? Kasi yung asawa ko hindi pa nakakabalik sa trabaho. Sana po, magtanong din kami.
Meanwhile, the house of Eileen's neighbor, Janet, was also seriously hit. That's why, as of the moment, she really doesn't know if her family can still have a Merry Christmas.
Sobra ko ngayon na plano na po. Ayun na, ginaanan tayo ng bagyo. Mahirap lang po sa pagbuhay-buhay. Lalo na ngayon, wala
According to Albay Governor Al Francis Bichara, they will continue helping those affected by the catastrophe the best they can. But at the same time, emergency funds is nearing depletion, so he's truly hoping that the national government will come to their aid in the nick of time.
Meron pa naman kami yun. Maybe for 1 week. After 1 week, marami ng darating naman. By that time, meron ng darating galing sa national.
On the other hand, when it comes to the problem on power outages, Governor Bichara assured
within 2 weeks time. Legazpi na yung mga neighboring town. Pero yung iba, siguro 2 to 3 months.
Mela Les Moras for the nation.
3,000 individuals affected by Typhoon Raleigh in Batangas have received aid. Families from Batangas City and Lobo, Batangas received food packs, face shields, vitamins, bicycles, and tablets. They also received assistance from the DTI and the National Housing Authority to help them get back on their feet. Senator Christopher Bongo, the Senate Health Committee Chair, reminded our countrymen that the government is ready to help them, especially during calamities like this.
Weather updates and coverages of PTV News have helped residents of Binyan, Laguna to prepare ahead of the typhoon. Here's Sweden Venado Ramirez with this report.
Honglin, a resident of Barangay Malaban in Binyan, Laguna, was seen cleaning up their flooded house brought about by Super Typhoon Raleigh, which hit the province over the weekend. She said they're used to flooding and didn't panic as they got updates with news and information from PTV.
Nanood po kami sa PTV para po sa paghahanda namin na pagdating na bagyo. At naganda po kami ng mga pagkain, tubig. Tapos nagtaas na po kami ng mga gamit para po safety.
Other residents also regularly tuned into PTV updates on Super Typhoon Raleigh. Hence, they were able to evacuate early for safety.
Pagkoy po kami sa sobrang takot po baka malaglag na sa tubig.
Meanwhile, fisher folk in the area have returned to fishing in Laguna de Bay, but it's challenging to sail far out to the lake due to water lilies blocking the entryway. We met a fisherman in his 60s who, despite having a mild stroke last year, still continues to catch milkfish from the lake. His request, though, is for buyers to refrain from handling too much, as he's only selling his catch for 30 pesos per kilo.
Napakahirap mangisda at hindi naman pinupulot namin. Talagang napakahirap, lalo paglabas sa water lily.
A